The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. On
Uh-oh. No Jason this week. Anybody wants to get sick? I know it's a different week because I never get this text from Chris. I just looked down at my phone. Hey, dude, are you here? I was.
What time was that?
That was at 5:58. Well, I actually, and don't get me wrong, and good morning, everybody. Normally we'll come in right at, but it was even more this morning because did you have any issues with the gate?
You didn't get the email?
Nah.
Front gate is broken.
Is it? Well, I probably should have read the.
Wait, how'd you get in on?
I had to go around.
No, how'd you get in Friday?
I wasn't here Friday.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
I wasn't here Friday, so that's why it got me. So I went. I'd never do that. Went around to the back gate, got in, but even the code didn't work. The whole thing.
I'm guessing it's a different one.
Yeah, well, in my notes, just for emergencies, it says first gate code, second gate code. So I used the first gate code and it said nope. So then I went around after, but at first I do what you should do, which is I just click the remote 100 times.
Were you thinking,
Kinda like
oh, did they make a decision?
I did. I was sick a little at the wrong time, and now I would like to think that, God forbid, had something happened on the way in, I would like to think that would be like, oh man, Chris, you got to do the show today, just all by yourself. But actually, I know that wouldn't happen. What would you do?
I would just play CBS.
Then people
get bonus Maggie and Perloff.
Then people really start talking. Jason's gone this week, and rightfully so.
He's gone, but he's not gone.
Yeah, it sucks for him, man. It really does. And when we get down to the holidays, what we try to do is basically it's what I try to do with him is, Jason, whatever you want to do it, and then we'll build our stuff around you. Because Jason Ross, bad cop during King season, he can't go anywhere. So I talked to him on the phone yesterday. I was getting his 3 in the key picks and talking about some other stuff. He said, yeah, we're just going to do this. Jason's vacation this week. We're just going to do some stuff around the house. And so it's like a project week for him, which, by the way, look, when you have to adult, when you get older, there is something about being able to catch up on everything that's not exactly bad, but it would be nice to have him go do, fun Jason stuff, whatever that may be. Probably involves gambling or something. I don't know. But none of that. So it's Chris and I this week, which is great. Of course, we'll have our regular cast of characters all week long. I am happy to be back in here.
Also, I'm gone for 2 days.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
So Wednesday, I already had it for a day off. I didn't know that Jason was taking this for a while back. And then because there are so many people gone and out, the only way we could work it out is Nate is going to be here on Friday because there's no one here to do the Kings game. So I have to do the Kings game on Friday.
Well, why can't Nate do the Kings game?
Because he's going out of town. Because it's his birthday and his girlfriend did something very nice for him.
And something very not nice for the rest of us. And then who's filling in the other day you're gone?
Wednesday, it's going to be Jay Johnson.
Okay. I haven't worked with Jay in a while. That'll be fun. Not that it won't be fun to work with Nate. Just
Nate is going to also be taking care of Friday Fun Games.
Oh, God. Wait, did he do it? Has he done it? I feel
He's
like
done it a few times.
Yeah. hit or miss?
The first time was a big miss, but he learned from his ways. He got through it.
Okay, so it's you and me for 3 days this week.
Yes.
Myself and Jay Johnson on Wednesday.
Yes.
And then myself and Nate Littlefield on Friday.
Correct.
Okay, so there's that. And then next week, well, it's Christmas. We'll be we're doing, by the way, we're doing our show meeting on the air now. So we'll be off Monday, Tuesday.
You'll be off Monday, Tuesday.
You're working Monday, Tuesday?
I'm working Monday.
You're working on Christmas?
Mhm.
Oh God. What hours?
The Niners game.
I hope you get like quadruple.
Hopefully.
Ugh. Okay. So most of us have Monday, Tuesday off. And then we'll be full strength Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll be in Southern California for those shows, but I'll be on just like I was last week. Remotely. And then the following week, same thing. We'll be off Monday. We'll work Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll be in Southern California, back in studio Thursday, and then off Friday. And then I'll be gone the following week, which is I'll be in the following week is when I'll be in England, which is cool and all, except for the fact that this other gig's blowing my vacation because there's no vacation happening. There's none. Although I'm using vacation hours here to go do the thing over there. But then over there, it's like real actual work all day long. So there's no holiday vacation this year. Plus, I'm going to be at your dumb place watching my guys get the hell beat out of us.
This is you want to be there now because the Christmas markets are so much fun and they're so cool and they're in like every town in Europe and they're the best.
Like I can imagine the load. It's like a little Harry Potter movie, but what do you buy in there? Just different foods?
Oh, they got different foods. They have like different like trinkets and stuff that they sell for Christmas. They have like music places. They basically like it's a party everywhere.
Really.
Yeah, and they're just like different spots throughout the town.
So the hotel we stay in is in Leeds, which I found to be quite the entertaining town itself. But between Leeds and Huddersfield, and then the time we'll spend in Manchester, I'm sure we'll find something.
Have you guys gone? You went there before. Did you guys go to the Soccer Hall of Fame?
No,
Football
Hall of Fame. Yeah, that giant blue building.
I've been there twice, but I haven't been able to get there yet.
Maybe this time. I don't know. The whole thing for our trip to Manchester is going to be weird and busy, and I don't know what the heck's going on. I'm just going to take like 500,000 pictures and just try to fit in. Not get left behind. Have to take that dumb train back. Before we move on, though, there's one thing I did want to talk to you about today. Over the weekend, you saw, was that both Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2?
I did.
Okay, so
Forgot about that.
going into the break, the weekend break, we found out that Chris had somehow seen Beverly Hills Cop 3, but hadn't seen Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. Maybe one of like 4 people in the world that have pulled that off. So and I appreciate you for doing this, you made it a point to know what you were talking about by going and watching the first 2. Let's start with 1. The original.
Yes.
Axel Foley's buddy gets killed, comes out from Detroit. You got the very stereotypical angry police chief back home that yells all the time, which for some reason weirdly when the coach in Varsity Blues showed up, I kind of always made this parallel, just these angry, yelling, screaming authority figures. And then hilarity ensues as Axel Foley infiltrates the Beverly Hills Police Department, is chased by Taggart and whoever the hell Judge Reinhold's character was, I forget. Your thoughts?
I thought Eddie Murphy was very funny in the movie.
Yes, he's
hilarious.
Yes, he is.
And that's about it.
I don't want to instantly go, what? Because...
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's a bunch of tropes of, like cop movies
Uh-huh.
and that I've seen before. And, like, when you first see that movie, you haven't seen all of those tropes before.
Right.
Like a lot of the movies I've seen, they kind of just copied Beverly Hills
That is
Cop.
correct.
So I don't put that on it. It's
Yeah.
just it's not new to me.
I think it's a really insightful thing you're saying because
I could understand why it was very popular when it came out.
It was a very, I wouldn't say trailblazing in the sense that we've seen this before. And as a matter of fact, I think that movie, have you seen 48 Hours?
No.
Yeah, don't. But a little bit of this movie, I think fed off of 48 Hours in the sense that you have your fish out of water, interesting environment, doing different things that others aren't used to solve the case and win the thing. Like, and 48 Hours did a little bit of that too, except instead of Eddie being a cop, Eddie Murphy was a con named Reggie Hammond and teamed up with Nick Nolte. In this case, he kind of teams up with the other guys, the comic relief, if you will. But it's also the whole, like, we start as enemies, we bond through adversity. In the end, we understand each other and have a respect. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you seeing that after seeing 100,000 cop movies that fed off of that, you're like, yeah, okay, I can predict everything.
Yeah, I know what's going to happen.
So the Beverly Hills Cop 2, which many, some people are like, the original's it. But the Beverly Hills Cop 2, I would say most think is the best movie of the bunch. Now he is firmly embedded with the Beverly Hills Cop guys. But now the guy that used to be sort of an enemy, the chief of police there, is now a friend, and he's out to save his life.
Incredibly quickly, good friends.
Really quickly.
Like going on fishing parties and friends with the daughter.
Yes. They have bonded, and yes, and I can imagine the chief of police, Beverly Hills Police Department in the mid 80s would have absolutely no problems with Eddie Murphy's character from Detroit being close with his daughter. Of course, they just roll right over that, which is kind of cool considering the timepiece. Your thoughts on Beverly Hills Cop 2?
Eddie Murphy was really funny.
If you had to choose one or two, do you have a choice? Or are they basically same movie?
See, here's the thing too. I end up watching all three of them just back to back to back.
Oh wow, wow, that's a hell of a Friday night. That's a hell of a Friday night.
So I just kind of thought that they're the same. I didn't like that Serge wasn't in the second one.
Yeah, and apparently he's back for the show.
His best part is in 3,
100%,
which he gives a little backstory, and he gets like some screen time.
The funny thing is about Bronson Pinchot, which most of a generation know as Balky Bartokomous from Perfect Strangers, is that he actually has a couple of iconic non-Balky roles. One being Serge in Beverly Hills Cop, and then also I assume you've seen True Romance. Yeah, yes, you have.
No,
I
haven't seen
what?
It. It's one of those ones. It's like, oh yeah, you should probably see it. Like, yeah, I'll probably see it at some point.
In all the years that we've known each other, I have to imagine we've had at least one, if not multiple, conversations about the cast of that movie.
I know that it's a Tarantino written movie.
It is a Tarantino written movie. I believe it's directed by Robert Rodriguez. It has perhaps one of the top 5, if not number 1, acting displays between Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken. Here's your cast. You ready? Stop looking at it. Christian Slater, Patricia Arquette, Gary Oldman, Dennis Hopper, Brad Pitt, Christopher Walken, Val Kilmer, James Gandolfini in the role that got him The Sopranos. Michael Rappaport, Samuel L. Bronson Pinchot, Chris Penn, Tom Sizemore, Jack Black, a very, very young Jack Black, and more.
I don't know how I haven't seen that movie.
I will tell you why. It's because True Romance, for some reason, is the most fall through the cracks. Oh my God, how have I not seen this movie? And then you see the movie, and it does not disappoint whatsoever. There are incredibly iconic scenes from this movie. The amount of stars it launched is ridiculous. Yet somehow a lot of people have not seen this movie.
Huh.
Val Kilmer plays Elvis, damn it.
The Elvis?
The Elvis. You cannot go wrong with Val Kilmer playing Elvis. And there's a bunch of character actors in here you'll recognize too. If you haven't seen True Romance, go see True Romance. I would love it if you snuck in True Romance this week if you have time, because I'd love to review it with you on the air. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. We'll take a break. When we come back, Keegan explodes, but in the good way. The Niners, they roll over the Cardinals, and we've got a Kings game tonight as well. Oh, we're going to have Brendan Nunez going to fill in for Frankie today at 8 a.m. Matt Barrows of The Athletic, Niners at 9. It's myself, it's Chris Verlade, in just 1 minute, leading off on Sacktown Sports.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted! Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner!
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is the best place to go all in and all out. Go all in at our table games, then go all out to win on the area's only 3-story indoor kart track. Or go all in for our famous award-winning buffet. Then go all out at our state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and beautiful resort hotel, you can go all in for fun and all out for comfort. We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Davion Mitchell lets the ball roll to Keegan, or to Malik Monk. Now over on the wing to Keegan. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points. Here's a desperate heave from midcourt by Taylor Horton-Tucker that's off target. And the third quarter comes to conclusion with Keegan Murray having scored 26 points in the last 12 minutes. He had 13 in the previous quarter. He has 45 in the game. That's the most prolific scoring night by any King this season. And he's now 12 of 13 from downtown. And he's within 2 of the NBA's all-time three-point record.
Yeah, didn't expect that one. Keegan Murray, just to give you an idea, was 12 of 15. And at one point, by the way, was 12 of 13. He missed 2 fourth-quarter threes after being pulled and put back in. He was 12 of 15. The only people in the entire game that even took 12 shots were Lauri Markkanen, who took 13, and Colin Sexton, who took 18. Nobody else even took 12 shots of any kind. And you had 47 points. We were begging for 50. I hate that Mike Brown took him out, but I get it. Hey, the only real difference in this game, no De'Aaron Fox, as that shoulder stinger, whatever it was that he got in the previous game, reared up, and we'll try to get an update for you today. You hope that was just a one-time thing, and to be honest with you, I kind of hope he's out tonight too.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, you're playing one of the 3 worst teams in the NBA.
Pistons light,
very much so. Diet Pistons. You're 100% correct. If you can't beat the Wizards without De'Aaron Fox, you got bigger problems. And the Jazz are certainly better than the Wizards. Hey, I remember Friday for a while. There was actually a not insignificant amount of Kings fans that would have been willing, in fact, were willing to trade Keegan Murray for Lauri Markkanen when there were rumors that, hey, Markkanen might be on the block. that actually filled much of Friday, at least on the social medias, was the idea that Lauri Markkanen might be available. We'll discuss that a little bit later. The Jazz have said that he is not available, but just for funsies, I think it's good to philosophically focus in on a Lauri Markkanen type, because for the life of me, I could not understand, especially considering what it would cost to get him, why there were so many Kings fans that were in favor of acquiring a player like Lauri, who is not a bad player, but as I said a few times, it's like bringing sand to a beach. 125-104. The Kings are 15-9. They're 9-3 at home. By the way, shout out Domantas Sabonis, 20-10-8, 9 of 10 shooting. On any other night, that would have been what we were focusing on largely. But in this case, obviously, Keegan Murray's 47 points overshadowed all that. We'll talk about that quite a bit later. Cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
49ers all the way to the Arizona 41-yard line. Play clock at 3-2. They snap it. Purdy under 7-step drop. Gets chased out of there. Will throw on the run. Wide open. McCaffrey makes the catch. Goes down. Gets up. Touchdown. CMC. What a play there. Brock Purdy rolling out to the left. McCaffrey was so wide open. He caught the ball. Backpedaling McCaffrey over his helmet, Tim, fell down, but no one could get there to touch him down. He popped up and he scored.
The Niners are 5-0 within their division. They are 9-1 in the conference. They have won 6 in a row. That's right. After losing 3 in a row. They have now won 6 in a row. In fact, so far this year, they have won 5 in a row, lost 3 in a row, won 6 in a row. That's where they stand right now. They have clinched, as they did last week, clinched the NFC West. They have clinched a playoff spot, obviously, with that. And there's more to that we will get to, including Brock Purdy, who is now, you can now say this, I think, fairly confidently. It is Brock Purdy's MVP award to lose. It is Brock Purdy that is the clear frontrunner for most valuable player in the National Football League, Mr. Irrelevant.
Clear?
You don't think so? Who do you put in there?
I mean, I think his teammate had a pretty good game yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, and we'll talk about this later too. I'm not going to say anything bad about Christian McCaffrey. I'm not going to try to argue Brock Purdy over Christian McCaffrey. I'm not going to even say Christian McCaffrey doesn't deserve it. He's just not going to win it.
Oh, yeah.
He's just not going to win it. So, I mean, as we focus in on it, I don't know that he'll finish top 3. I think if he finishes top 5, it's a win for him. And I don't think they're going to split votes either. Somebody can only vote one player on the Niners. That's their problem. You can vote for 5 players on the Niners if you want it. It's just got to be 1st through 5th place. But we'll talk about that. I think it's he, Lamar Jackson, and I mean, I guess you have to say maybe Dak Prescott.
But he was a shoo-in.
Who, Dak?
Yeah.
Oh,
the NFL wanted to give it to him.
Absolutely.
He's earned it.
Well, he really stepped it up yesterday along with his team, as they've been they've stepped it up all year versus tough competition. Cut 3, please.
Cut number 3.
Inside 3 minutes to go. Give and go. Run to the rack. Keegan scores it. I thought he was on the bench. He's up to 47.
That's funny. Kings Wizards tonight, 7 p.m. All your coverage right here on Sacktown Sports. Please leave early to get down to Golden One Center. It is raining. It's supposed to be raining the next few days. And as you all know, people in this town and many others, I'm sure, they do not know what to do when it is raining.
Were you waking up at 2 a.m. like I was this morning?
No, I got on social media this morning just to kind of look and see. And who was it? My guy Kevin Fittman said that it's the loudest thunder he's ever heard in Sacramento.
Oh my God! Like
really?
My whole room lit up. Like I thought it struck
really?
By my house. That was like the first time. Like, okay, I'm kind of scared.
Wow. Yeah, do the Thunder Buddies chant. Yeah. I think you guys live in the semi-similar area. I wonder if any of that got out to the Rockland Roseville area. You guys are more central and south. But yeah, dude, I heard it was pretty burly, man.
Oh my God.
Because have you ever, I mean, maybe it was this morning, but have you know, it's like I laugh in the movies because when lightning happens, like the lightning and thunder always happen at the same time.
Yeah.
It's always like, and that doesn't happen in real life except when it does.
Yes.
Have you ever experienced that before?
A long time ago.
Happened once when I was about 12 years old. It was in near our backyard, Ansel Hoffman. I was on the porch watching this amazing lightning storm, and then it hit, and I was no longer on the porch, dude. Scared the crap out of me, probably literally in retrospect. It's not fun, dude.
No.
It's very loud, and it shakes things, and it's not cool. This just in, Mother Nature, undefeated.
Undefeated.
We are always in a road game with Mother Nature. We'll take a break. When we come back, hey, the Kings beat the Jazz. Let's get some audio for you and do a little bit of a recap of that. We'll do that next.
The 49ers have secured their playoff berth, and now they chase the NFC's top seed.
Purdy out of the shotgun, looks left, throws end zone. Caught! George Kittle in the back of the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Check out all the 49ers games with Greg Papa and Tim Ryan.
On your home for the playoff-bound 49ers. Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-330-2929. That's 800-330-2929. 800-330-2929.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no account to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
Staples is serious about gaming. And right now, during Staples Holiday Deals, we're even serious. Like this week at Staples, save $50 on the Xbox Series S with 3-month Game Pass Ultimate Bundle, now just $249.99. Save serious money on gaming with $50 off the Xbox Series S game system today during Staples Holiday Deals. Xbox offer available online in select stores only. While supplies last. Limit 1 ends 12/23.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Colin Sexton, the initiator now. Here's a pass that's knocked away, stolen by Sabonis against Olynyk. He drives, he scoops, he scores. Transition push, challenged all the way by Olynyk. Defense leading to the offensive opportunity for the first 2 points of the ball game, scored by Sabonis. Kings push the tempo. Sabonis already at the top of the foul circle, down the right side of the lane, spins to his left, and scores. Going strong inside against Fontecchio. And it's a 4-0 start for Sacramento. Kings go alley-oop, and converting is Keegan Murray. It wasn't the spectacular kind of alley-oop, but it was successful. High teardrop floater in transition. Dunn is missed. Kings come right back. Sabonis already across the logo. Picks up the dribble and gives to Keegan, who takes it hard left. Stops. Step back for 2. He's got another one. 13 points for Keegan Murray. Makes it 48-36. Keegan. And the crowd responds with a Murray. Are they going to do it again? Stand by. Right on cue. 56-41. Keegan with 19 points. 13 have come on a blitz here in the quarter. Herter gives to a trailing Sabonis. 2 left-hand dribbles. Now to Keegan. Going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. He has just knocked down his 8th three-pointer of the night. He has matched his career high in triples for a game, and he has his career high scoring number match with the 30. 83-63 for the biggest lead of the ball game. Here's Sabonis looking for a seam. Gives to Keegan. Heat check. 3 on the way. He's got a new career scoring high. He's also got a career high in triples made in a game. It's his 9th. And after a 13-point second quarter, he's got 14 in the third. 86-66. Teardrop floater. Done. Good for 2 points to make it 86-68. Crowd still buzzing. Keegan, quick catch, quick strike. There's another one up in the lights and in the well. 10 3-pointers made. Keegan Murray putting on an all-time scoring exhibition tonight. Has 36 points for Sacramento. 89-68. He gives to Malik on the right angle. Malik dances with a dribble. Probes, pulls it back to 3-point range. Invited to shoot. Now he probes, steps back. He sets Keegan. Can he do it? Yes! There's number 11, Keegan Murray from Malik Monk. Buddy Hield has the Sacramento franchise record for the most threes in a game with 11. That was against the Boston Celtics 4 years ago in Massachusetts. And that record has just been tied by Keegan Murray. Here's Keegan on the left angle as the Jazz missed a shot, and Keegan goes for 2 more. He's up to 42 off the dribble, and this is turning into one of those nights that will be etched forever in the memory of Sacramento Kings fans. Davion Mitchell lets the ball roll to Keegan, or to Malik Monk. Now over on the wing to Keegan. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points. There's a desperate heave from midcourt by Taylor Horton-Tucker that's off target. And the third quarter comes to conclusion with Keegan Murray having scored 26 points in the last 12 minutes. He had 13 in the previous quarter. He has 45 in the game. That's the most prolific scoring night by any King this season. And he's now 12 of 13 from downtown. And he's within 2 of the NBA's all-time three-point record.
So longer than normal highlights because I wanted to get in all the Keegan ones. What a special night. And I was at a Christmas party.
Hey, so was I.
The one Christmas party I go to all year happened to be Kings fans that season ticket holders, actually, that normally would be at the game. It just so happened, usually they're very good about scheduling it on non-game nights because of travel or whatever. It had to be that one. So they're like, Utah, whatever. And then that happens, which is why you buy tickets, because you never know what you're going to see. And Gary Gerald, who's so wonderful at his job, said it really well. This is turning into one of those nights, and it did, in fact, become one of those nights that will be etched in the memories of Kings fans for a long, long, long time. And he's right. Like we're going to 20 years from now be like, hey, remember when Keegan either, had that game out of nowhere or broke out and really jump-started his career or whatever it may be.
And usually it's the other way around.
That what?
It usually, oh, man, this guy is having a career night against the Kings right now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the Jazz got to see the other end of that, which is what we've seen so many times. You score that many points in the quarter, you have that many three-pointers, and it reminds you of people. And, it's something I kind of wanted to discuss today. It's not exact. It's not, there's a long way to go here. I'm not entirely sure that the best young player comp for Keegan Murray isn't Klay Thompson, as I use 5 negatives, I think, right there. And before everybody jumps down my throat here on this, they're very similar in size. They're both wings-ish. I say that because Klay is really, truly a shooting guard, but he guards wings. Klay was I always felt like his defense was underrated. I mean, eventually it kind of became understood that he was a pretty elite wing defender, but that was never the part of the game that anyone focused on. But he was a very good defender. And then, of course, you have the elite shooting. Now, one game does not make one Klay Thompson, who is a first ballot Hall of Famer. But it sure does seem, if you're looking for a ceiling comp that Keegan Murray could fit, somebody find me a better one than Klay Thompson. I'm not saying there isn't a better one, but I'm saying somebody find me a better one. I think that's very well the comp we could be looking at. As a matter of fact, I pulled up their rookie year numbers. They're incredibly similar. Incredibly similar. Now, Klay was a year younger than Keegan coming out of Washington. But you're talking about separated by a third of a point a game. Keegan just about doubles his rebounds. Klay's got almost an assist more. And then everything else down the road is almost dead even. Field goal percentage, 45% for Keegan, 44.5 for Klay. 3-point percentage, 41 for Keegan, 41.4 for Klay. And just on and on down. Actually, Keegan outdoes him barely in more categories than the other way around. Now, again, we could have taken comps on Tyreek Evans after his rookie. I fully get it. But I found myself, I'd never really thought of that. Maybe some of you have. I'd never thought of that comparison before. That never really got into my head. And now it's one of those, do we see Keegan Murray in a 3-point contest? Do we start pushing on that? I mean, I really didn't like the way the 3-point contest treated Kevin Huerter after all was said and done last year, but I don't think Keegan's the same. And then you start talking about, Chris, the idea of, would you trade Keegan Murray for X? Now, every trade season, I have this conversation with Kings fans and it almost never goes well. The following sentence is an undeniable fact, and if you don't believe it, go argue with your mama. There are no untouchables on the Sacramento Kings. There's no untouchables. There isn't. There are no untouchable players in trade season for the Sacramento Kings. You know how I know? Because I can name players that anyone on the Kings would get traded for. Monty would say yes if offered up. Not realistically, obviously. But yes, I firmly believe, as much as we love him, if Milwaukee called and offered Giannis Antetokounmpo for Domantas Sabonis, I'm pretty sure we pull the trigger on that. Also, I'm pretty sure if Denver called and offered Nikola Jokic for De'Aaron Fox, it would hurt. Pretty sure Monty pulls the trigger on that. And I got to think there's at least a couple, although dwindling, to be fair. I'm not entirely sure that there are 10 players in the NBA that Monty would trade De'Aaron Fox for. In fact, I don't think there are 10 players in the NBA he would. But the point is that if somebody would get traded, then if somebody called and offered whatever and your team says yes, that means they're not untouchable. I think
it would take in, quote, untouchable player.
Correct.
To get a, quote, untouchable player.
1,000 trillion% correct. Like Nikola Jokic and Giannis are more untouchable than anybody we have. But if you would make a trade, then that person by definition is not untouchable. Now, there are players on the team that are incredibly difficult to touch, would take a miraculous, makes no sense offer to grab them. And I think Keegan Murray is very much in the category De'Aaron Fox was, 3 years ago, when a lot of people, myself included, were calling for a trade. Now, Keegan, the stock is not down on Keegan like it was on Fox then. But there is this internal belief within the franchise, much like they had on De'Aaron Fox, I think, with Keegan Murray, that, it would take something so ridiculously lopsided to get us to give up Keegan Murray. I mean, it would have to be it would appear to everybody else a lopsided trade, because they honest to God believe and have believed. I haven't even talked to anyone important this year about this specific subject to give them more credit. I talked to them last year about this specific subject. And they think Keegan Murray is going to be an all-star. They think he is capable of all defense first team. They think he is a absolutely capable offensive all-star as well. They believe they have their third all-star right now. And they have a very small window where they could take advantage of that perhaps by adding, dare I say, either a fourth all-star or somebody of consequence. Because Keegan Murray's on that rookie deal right now, will be for a few more years. So that's why when you start talking about, Keegan Murray for Lauri Markkanen, I don't understand that. But I don't know that I'm supposed to. You can go to the YouTube chat, by the way, and talk with us. Somebody asked, what if the Suns offered Kevin Durant for Keegan Murray? Well, look, there's a number of reasons that Monty McNair would say no to that. Yes, he would say no to that. But before we start arguing about Keegan versus Kevin Durant, let me just stop that. Their salaries are so incompatible that it could never be Kevin Durant for Keegan Murray. It would literally have to be like Keegan, Harrison. Yes, I know you guys are fine with that. Davion, I know you're fine with that too. Kevin Huerter, and now you got to add another, and then on top of that, Keegan Murray, and then I don't even know. I'd have to look. I don't even know how you could do that. You might have to include Sabonis in that deal, to be honest, Sabonis or Fox, just to make the money work. So yeah, but even if you took contracts out, point is, I don't know. I honest to God don't think. If contracts aside, I don't think the Kings would trade Keegan Murray for Kevin Durant. That's where we're at right now. Age, injury, money. That's where we're at. We'll get into this later when we come back. The Niners beat the Cardinals, although it wasn't easy at first. We got audio from that next.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Dell's holiday event is one of their biggest sales of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you thought last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day. Available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Plati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
And I got a boot, Purdy left, throw wide open. Deebo Samuel uncovered. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Deebo Samuel did not even need to be at a different level that time because they absolutely busted, taking advantage of that young secondary. Deebo motion just comes in a normal motion. He's almost at a jogging speed and just kind of cruises out to the flat. Nobody around him. When you bust, Brock Purdy will break you.
Murray back. Murray time throws intercepted. Charvarius Ward running back the other way. He's gone. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! San Francisco!
The Mooney man, nothing wrong with that groin. Wow, did he see this route? And Kyler Murray's got time to throw it and survey the field, and he just absolutely undercuts Trey McBride. He knew they were going with the football. Trey McBride tries to run a little hook right in between the seams. Charvarius Ward saw it, drove on it, and absolutely hit him in the chest.
2nd and 9, Arizona on the 9:30. McBride's back in the game. He moves in motion right. Kyler a play action to Connor. He steps up on Bosa, gets hit from behind, sacked, follows the ball. Nick Bosa knocked it out. He got the sack. He got the strip. Whose ball is it now? They're unpiling on the Arizona 31-yard line. Scott Novak, our referee, gives it back to Arizona. Now they're going to spread him out. Brock goes into a shotgun. Ayuk goes out wide right, watched by Antonio Hamilton. Jawan Jennings goes in the right slot, watched by the safety Jalen Thompson. Purdy looks right. Now comes back middle. Wide open McCaffrey. Touchdown! CMC!
With a beautiful Cali route on Josh Thomas, the inside linebacker. Josh Woods. What a play by Christian McCaffrey.
They're going to put him into a pistol now. 35 yards behind Brendel, the center. McCaffrey 3 yards behind him. They ride the mesh point. They give it to McCaffrey off the left side. Touchdown! CMC!
Number 20 detonating, just riding the Outer Banks. Aaron Banks, the left guard, just getting right on his backside and letting Banks do the dirty work for him.
2nd and 10. Purdy throws for the end zone. It is caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Oh, boy. What a day for your San Francisco 49ers. If they're not your San Francisco 49ers, there is room on the bandwagon. Our old friend Kyle Madsen with these numbers. Deebo Samuel's last 5 games, 25 catches, 455 receiving yards, 5 receiving touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. For fun, extrapolated over a 17-game season, that's 85 catches, 1,547 receiving yards, 17 receiving touchdowns, and 10 rushing touchdowns. Now, that might be an MVP season. Mooney Ward added a 2nd interception. It wasn't easy, it wasn't as easy as it could have been. I don't want to talk like this was some, super close game, but the fact of the matter is the 49er defense, which is banged up a little, gave up 29 points to the Arizona Cardinals, certainly 13 of those in the fourth quarter. There was a little bit of junk time there, but Arizona went right down, and James Conner touchdown really started everything off. One of 2 rushing touchdowns on the day, but it was the Christian McCaffrey show, which I appreciate, because the good news is the 49ers won yet again. They are 11-3, 6-2 on the road. The bad news is Chris McCaffrey single-handedly knocked me out of the playoffs. So let's all take a moment and focus on that and how important that was. 115 through the air, 72 receiving yards for Christian McCaffrey. 2 touchdowns plus the 1 rushing gives him 3 total for the day. And you heard about the sacks. It seems that the 49ers pretty much settle on about 3 sacks per game these days, and that clinches the NFC West. That clinches, they had already clinched, a playoff spot. And now you have the Eagles and the Seahawks tonight on Monday Night Football. You saw last night the Ravens win their game as well. So it kind of sets us up for Christmas Day, which will give both the Ravens, even though they did have Sunday Night Football, both the Ravens and the Niners to a point, it will give them each a day extra of rest. The 49ers will finish the regular season. Ravens at Commanders and then Rams. They will be favored in all 3, regardless of what happens, unless the whole team crashes into each other and gets injured. They will be favored in 2 of those 3 rather significantly. I would imagine they'll be favored by somewhere around an average of 8 to 9 points the rest of the year, of course, much less versus Baltimore. That is going to be billed as the Niners-Eagles game was billed as a preview of the NFC Championship and possibly the 2 best teams in the NFL. The Christmas Day Ravens game, which is just a miracle of scheduling, that will be billed as a potential Super Bowl matchup, which would be a rematch from about 10 years ago. It's interesting when you look at the playoff race right now, no matter what happens, Christmas Day, with just 2 more games the rest of the year, it's pretty amazing that on Christmas Day, that late into the season, you will have the 2 number 1 seeds. Even if Philadelphia wins, and granted, maybe they win again next weekend and they're a half game ahead, but bottom line is you will have the 2 teams that control their destiny for the 1 seed in both the NFC and AFC. I'm sure somebody will come up with it. I'm very curious as to the last time the number 1 seed from each conference met this late in the season. I gotta think it was a long, long time ago, or it's never happened, obviously, other than the Super Bowl dummies. I understand that. But honest to goodness, you know how hard that is to get? First off, it's AFC versus NFC, so you're not going to have that every year with those two teams. Secondly, to have that this late in the year. And if the Niners do win that game against Baltimore and then they have Washington and LA to cruise out, you might think actually it's a cruise. Here's the thing. As long as Philly and a couple others at least keep winning, they're going to have something to play for the rest of the year. Never say never. But it would seem that the 49ers have Baltimore standing in the way of them at least being favored to win out the rest of the season after the bye week, to win out the rest of the season after a 3-game losing streak to Cleveland, Minnesota, and Cincinnati. And boy, have we come a long way from those teams. It's amazing what happens when Trent Williams and others are healthy. Later on in the program, 7:27, we'll get into the rest of the NFL, including the amazing performance. You know, it seems every single time this year, say what you want about the Niners, every single time there are questions asked about the Dallas Cowboys, they answer them. It's probably not in the way the Cowboys fans want them answered. But I don't have the energy for that right now. The person who does have that energy is, well, both my guys at American Energy Heating and Air. And with winter here, the number one priority is keeping you safe and comfortable in your home for the holidays. That's why they're giving away a free whole home HVAC system to one lucky family in the greater Sacramento area. If you or you know a family in need of being comfortable this winter and for your chance to win the American Energy Comfort giveaway by going to theaeway.com. Theaeway.com. You could win a free whole home HVAC system. It's a pretty cool thing they do each and every year as a way to give back to the community they serve, the greater Sacramento area, by giving away a free whole home HVAC system. For official contest rules, go to theaeway.com. AE is in American Energy. Theaeway.com. American Energy Heating and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. We will take a break. Listen, when we get back, hour number 2, which we will talk about Keegan Murray going absolutely bonkers Friday. We got 3 for Madness and around the NFL coming up. Brandon Nunes at 8 o'clock. When we return, though, we have an update on Draymond Green, on starting the process, if you will. And this suspension is going to be, we've got some more numbers now on this. We need to start crunching those numbers, Sacramento Kings fans. We'll do all that next.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-775-5622. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-775-5622. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-775-5622. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Dell's holiday event is one of their biggest sales of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no account to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
This holiday season, Good Guys Heating and Cooling is turning up the warmth and spreading joy with our Toys for Tune-Ups promotion. Schedule your tune-up or troubleshooting appointment, and with a donation of a new unwrapped toy at the time of your service, we'll waive the fee. It's our way of giving back and making a difference in the lives of local children who might not have the Christmas that every child deserves. All toys will benefit Children's Hope, a wonderful local foster charity right here in Sacramento. Call Good Guys Heating and Cooling at 530-GOOD-AIR to schedule your appointment, or book online at goodguysheatingcooling.com. Happy holidays from the Good Guys family. License number 1057618.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
There are many things to love about winter. Cozy sweaters, celebrations, and family time. But winter can also bring many stressors, extra expenses, seasonal bugs, and so much family time. If you and your loved ones are feeling stressed or anxious this winter, Cal Hope can help. Check out our free mental health resources at calhope.org today.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Inside 3 minutes to go, give and go, run to the rack. Keegan scores it. I thought he was on the bench. He's up to 47.
Yeah. Mike Brown benched him. But then he brought it back. Now, whether that was just because Keegan was maybe a little tired, I like to think he benched him and the rest of the team got on Mike and was like, you better put him back in. You better put him back in. Or else. Welcome in, Dave, Chris. That's it. Jason Ross on sort of vacation this week. We say sort of because he's still going to be doing his King's duties.
You'll literally hear him today.
Yeah, you'll hear him tonight. You got your pregame, and then tip-off 7 o'clock shortly thereafter from the Golden One Center. Kings versus Wizards. And Wizards coming off I believe it's a back-to-back they played last night. The Detroit Pistons are 2-24. The San Antonio Spurs are 4-21. The Washington Wizards are also 4-21. The Pistons, by the way, in case you're wondering, are they've lost 23 in a row. And for those of us that were on social media heavily during the Keegan Murray draft when the Pistons got Jaden Ivey, I couldn't be happier for Pistons fans who were absolutely enjoying way too much that draft. And I think I can confidently say, at least so far, jury is still out. At least so far, I think the Kings have gotten the better.
Kings Twitter had some fun with those old tweets.
They did. It's really a blast to go back and kind of. There was one in particular that said something like, "Thanks so much. Shout out Sacramento. We now have Jaden Ivey and Marvin Bagley. LMAO. Well, the Bucks beat the Pistons 146-114 Saturday. Bagley had 12 and 7 in 22 minutes. Good for him playing. Jaden Ivey off the bench now was 5 of 17 for 13 points. That's while Keegan Murray was going off for 47. We'll get to that in a second. I do want to update you, though, according to Shams Charania. Draymond Green has begun counseling, according to reports. A process that will continue, again, quoting here, over the next 3 weeks, at least, of his suspension. In case you're wondering, and I'm sure you are off the top of your head, well, hold on a second. If he's suspended at least 3 more weeks, let's just take that at face value. That would be 21 more days at a minimum. That would put us somewhere in the middle of January. I can tell you that the Kings play Golden State for the final time this year, at least regular season. January 25th in San Francisco on TNT. So he'd have to be out a little bit more, but I think we can all agree Draymond Green coming back again for the Kings game would not surprise anyone at the least. I actually don't think it'll happen. I think he'll come back shortly before. Sacramento would be the 3rd game of a homestand. My guess, if I had to guess right now, knowing what Shams just reported, and the fact of the matter is that the Warriors leave on a road trip, 4 games, Chicago, Milwaukee, Memphis, Utah. They return home Friday, January 19th. I expect that, if I had to guess, I would probably circle that game against Dallas. That's a Friday game, ESPN, home against Dallas, returning home from that road trip. The 12th of January would be a little bit too early. If you're going on the 3-week cycle, would seem a little bit weird that he would join the team mid-road trip, although maybe just to get it out of the way they do that. But I'm going to now put in pencil on my calendar, Friday, January 19th would be the return of Draymond Green. Already seeing some people in the chat calling tonight a trap game. I disagree. This isn't a trap game. I understand the definition of a trap game. You're in between a couple of good teams. This is a game the Kings would very well lose in the past. Team that's got some injuries, playing off a back-to-back, a bad team. That's just not this Kings team. Now, look, I'm not saying they won't lose. They very well could lose, but if they lose, it's not because it's a trap game. They would lose because they completely lost focus and embarrassed themselves at home.
Thinking about the old Kings, this would be the one where they would lose to Utah, lose big to the Wizards, and then somehow beat the Celtics.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right, Chris. That would be the old Kings. and could very well be this Kings team, although I don't think so. I think they've earned a little bit of that, and they could lose all that trust tonight. But after the Wizards, get ready, because the remainder of this homestand, the 6-game homestand, it gets pretty brutal. Wednesday, they take on the Boston Celtics for the one time this season at home. That is a team that has absolutely had the Kings number on their latest run. Then Phoenix comes in. They will not have Bradley Beal, who's out for another few weeks with some other thing. Boy, did we dodge a bullet there. Jeez. Remember when Bradley Beal said he'd love to come to Sacramento? I think they've gotten 4 games out of him this year? Something stupid. Something bad. Let me look right here. Bradley Beal, excuse me, I'm sorry. Bradley Beal has played. I apologize. Bradley Beal has played 6 games this season. I said 4. Imagine that. 6 games this season for Bradley Beal. That's what you're getting for that massive, massive contract. It's not his fault. He's a very good player when he does play. He's just not playing. Kevin Durant is back. Devin Booker obviously hasn't gone anywhere. So you should, barring something going on between now and then, you should at least get Booker and Durant back. And then Minnesota comes in. Now the Kings are 1-0 against Minnesota, but what does that mean? That means Minnesota's going to be quite hungry, and Minnesota's been the best or one of the best teams in the entire league, certainly in the Western Conference. Needless to say, by the way, Sacramento favored by 12.5 in tonight's matchup. But you also have the fact that the Kings are undefeated against teams that are above them. They're 1-0 against the Nuggets, 1-0 against the Mavs, 2-0 against the Thunder, and 1-0 against the Timberwolves. And they also have beaten the Lakers twice, and then they went into Phoenix and beat them once. As we know, they have lost to 4 teams, the Rockets, the Pelicans, the Clippers, and the Warriors. So Keegan Murray goes off for 47. With De'Aaron Fox out. And the idea is this his breakout? Is this Keegan Murray's breakout game? Well, it's tough. Certainly is the best game he's ever had offensively by 17 points. He smashed, I think it was 30. He smashed his old record. Or you're going to get 47. I don't even know how that would work, getting 47 out of Keegan on a nightly basis. His average is now up to 15.5 points. Just under 6 boards and just under 2 assists a game. His defense has stepped up tremendously. He is now averaging just under 3.5 points more per contest this year than he did his rookie year last year. He is 23 years old. He will not turn 24 until August. And he is a small power forward. Nobody on this team is untouchable, but Keegan Murray, I think, is about as untouchable as De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. As a matter of fact, I'm not entirely sure the Kings, taking everything into account, wouldn't have him as the second most untouchable player on the team, but he's certainly top 3. So now the question is do you have enough left without Keegan, Sabonis, or De'Aaron Fox? Do you have enough left to provide value to another team to step up and get a 4th star, if you will? Not that Keegan's a star yet, but he's a star in the making. And just the fact that you know he's capable when he has not even played a full 82 games yet. Well, yeah, he has. He's played 100, not counting playoffs. But not even a full second season, I guess I should say. The fact that he's capable of hitting 47 points, of hitting 12 3-pointers. Well, it's not like that capability is going to go away, and other teams know that. What you hope is that this gives him the confidence. And with Fox back on the floor, those other players, they're going to have to continue to stay on Keegan and not let him, like the old Homer Simpson fading back into the bushes. You don't want that to happen. I'm not saying Keegan Murray should take 25 shots a night, but I wouldn't necessarily hate him taking 18 to 20 a night. He took 23 against the Jazz, which was by far his season high. He took 17 against Oklahoma City in a game in which he had, on November 10th, that first game, in a game in which he had 24 points. He shot 47% from the field that night. He was 4 of 17 versus Portland. And that's about it. 17 was his previous high. He smashed that with 23 for the year. And yes, as I said earlier, I do think comparing him to a young Klay Thompson is not off the mark. I think that's a good comp. Long way to go.
Wow,
for
that
Keegan.
was a really good analogy.
Thank you. Long way to go for Keegan. A lot of you were talking about, and we got a break here. A lot of you talking about Chance Comanche, the former Sacramento G League player. We'll address that at 7:44. It's a terrible, terrible story, and most of you have read about it. If not, we'll catch you up on that at 7:44 when we get back. Just 1 minute from now. 3 for Madness. What did you enjoy most over the weekend? And we had a question about tonight's Kings game and tonight's Monday Night Football game that compare to each other. We'll do all that on 3 for Madness, brought to you by Fire Wings next.
Harrison Barnes plays here.
Harrison Barnes drives it, hammers it. The Black Falcon soaring into the night sky on a Monday evening in Northern California.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right. Y'all gotta try that Febreze car. Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistent sin. All over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
God, I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
I want to remind you, Jiffy Lube Drive of the game coming up in about a half an hour, 7:45-ish. Coming up next, we'll go around the NFL. We'll also let you know who the top fantasy quarterbacks have been coming into Monday Night Football tonight. It might surprise you. And LOL Cowboys. If you're a Cowboy fan, I would invite you to tune out for the next segment. But if you're not, yeah, we'll go over that a little bit. In the meantime, Jason Ross on his pseudo vacation, Christopher Ladd and myself here for most of the week. Wednesday will be Jay Johnson. Friday will be Nate Littlefield. In the meantime, 3 for Madness brought to you by Fire Wings. Chris, question 1.
What was your favorite sporting event of the weekend?
You know, there were a lot of options. You know, you had the Niners game. I loved that. You had the UFC Saturday night. Loved that. You had Keegan going off. Loved that. They all cancel out for me. I'll tell you, I'll just shine a light on something that I talked about a little bit Friday, and going into the weekend was really cool Saturday, Sunday viewing while we were waiting for everything else to happen. The PNC Championship. Dude, I'm really nervous about all this pressure being put on Charlie Woods. In case you're not familiar with the PNC, it's a tournament in Florida near where most of these players live. And it's a chance for a player and their child, their kid, their grown kid, maybe a grandson, a nephew. It's a family twosome, basically.
The game of golf.
Thank you, Scott Marsh. But not once, twice, we saw Charlie Woods, who I believe is 14 or 15, drive a par 4 with 300-yard plus bombs. Saw a very, very nice chip in from him. And I would say this, like, Charlie Woods right now is probably at the golf version of what LeBron James was when he was at St. Mary's, but almost a little bit worse in the sense that I don't know that Woods has the talent, Charlie, that LeBron did at that age. But when your father is Tiger Woods,
it would be like if LeBron James's dad was Michael Jordan.
Seriously. It would, and to your point, like we remember, Michael had a couple of sons that played college ball, like except one of them was like the top recruit in the country, or Bronny James, who we've seen the pressure on, but he was like the presumptive number 1 pick in 2025. It's insane, but my God! And by the way, he's 14. He turns 15 in February. Jesus, that's insane, dude. I enjoyed that very, 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 very much. So a lot of really cool events, but I'll take the PNC Championship. Number 2, please.
Question 2.
What did you think of the? Sorry. What did you think of last weekend's UFC?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was disappointing. It was a pretty good card lead up, followed by and we talked about it a little bit in the press conference, some trash talking. Colby Covington is a ding dong anyways.
That was more than trash talking.
There was far more than trash talking. Now Dana White was asked, and your moral arbiter Dana White's always good for him to weigh in. He was asked, when does trash talking go too far? Well, I actually liked his answer because his answer was a non-answer. It simply said, well, and I'm trying to quote as directly as I can, but basically, I don't know, but I can tell you this. And he disclosed this. He goes, I looked at some real-time monitoring reports. We're talking about the night before the fight, or a couple nights before the fight. He goes, as soon as that press conference hit, that night, pay-per-views went up 25%. Which I think was his way of answering, yeah, I don't know that there is too much trash talking. And he's kind of said that before. This is a fight game. I don't care. In case you don't know, Leon Edwards, the champion, Colby Covington, who was a challenger. They were talking in the press conference, going back and forth. Covington was talking about taking him through the 5 rounds and to the 7th circle of hell. And then he said, I'll make sure to say hi to your dad when I'm there. And then if you know the backstory, when Leon Edwards was a young person, his father was murdered. And then Colby went on to double down because Leon Edwards' dad had apparently some pretty serious crime issues, and saying who would feel sorry for that. The guy was a piece of crap, blah, blah, blah. Feel sorry for his victims. Anyway, now I think most of us buying the pay-per-view wanted to see Leon Edwards absolutely pummel Colby Covington. Like, I don't want anyone to die. Well, it doesn't matter who you are. I want you to die. But like, if he just snapped Colby's leg in two, I'd have been okay with that. Like, I really wanted to see him hurt Colby Covington. Colby just didn't show up. It was a boring, unanimous decision for him. The co-main event, the super duper super lightweights, it's just too fast and technical. It was fine. It was a semi-entertaining fight. They matched up Wonder Boy with a guy that he shouldn't have been matched up with. So basically, like a lot of these guys coming over from Dagestan in that region, they grow up basically wrestling everything, and they come over here and they just absolutely maul you and end up winning. It's not always the most exciting way to win, but can't deny the effectiveness. So that was a boring fight. Josh Thompson. Maybe the highlight of the night, at least for me, because locally, was our guy Josh Emmett, who's worn a light the beam boxing robe in before. Huge Kings fan, huge Sacramento guy. Was fighting the number 10 guy in the division and hit him with a right and absolutely destroyed him. Chris, did you see any of the highlights from this?
I did not.
I've probably, I think, conservatively watched, I don't know, somewhere in the tens of thousands of mixed martial arts fights in my life. I think that's a fair thing to say. I've never seen a scarier knockout in my life. The guy got knocked out. It was a one punch, you're done. And then he proceeded to go into massive convulsions on the floor in front of everybody. Now, he was up and walking around probably way too early, as Joe Rogan pointed out. And apparently is fine, just has a concussion. But I've never seen a guy convulse that much. I've never seen a guy convulse that aggressively before. And there was a moment there where I think I shared a lot of thoughts with a lot of people. Is this guy going to die in front of us in the ring? Thank God that didn't happen. Great win for Josh, and he continues to move on as one of the most heavy hitters that division has ever seen. So I would give that whole thing a D+. Number 3, please.
Question 3.
What will be the bigger point differential? Kings Wizards or Eagles Seahawks?
Old Dave probably would have. Yeah, old Dave probably would have said Seahawks Eagles easily, just because I don't want to jinx the Kings. And if I'm jinxing the Kings, then screw it. But Kings are favored by 12.5 in this one. They 100%. This should be. Look, I'll take a win. I don't care. But this thing's any less than 18, 20 points. It's kind of goofy. I mean, the Wizards are really, really, really bad.
Wizards had an 8-point lead on the Suns going into the fourth quarter. That's a little.
Yeah, no, and they've shown a couple of signs here and there. To your point, I mean, they won their game before last, and odds are Kyle Kuzma is going to do something. Whatever. DeLon Wright revenge game. Actually, I believe he's out. But you're right. They had a lead on the Suns. That didn't work out. They did beat Indiana 137-123 on Friday. But when you look at the games, they only lost to Phoenix by 4. They beat Indiana. When you look at the games before that, they lost by, 20 to New Orleans. Well, we know that. 45 to Philly. This is a great microcosm, Chris, of the Wizards. On December 6th, they lost to Philadelphia 131-126. And then 5 days later, they lost to Philadelphia 146-101. And they sandwiched a 27-point loss to Brooklyn in the middle of that. They haven't just been getting beat for the most part. They've been getting absolutely blown out. But we'll see tonight. There's a reason why they play the game. 7 o'clock is your tip-off. We'll start coverage before that for you right here on the home of the Kings. And, of course, you have Eagles Seahawks. You can watch on a different screen as well. We will take a break. When we come back, we will go around the NFL. Who are your top fantasy quarterbacks going into tonight? And also, Eagles, Seahawks. We got to talk about the Cowboys as well. Cowboy fans, I'll just give you a spoiler alert. We're not happy after yesterday's embarrassment against Buffalo. A lot of frowns in Dallas, much like my backyard before I got my dog on the right food. Frowny little piles of poop. The Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food, made with all the good stuff. No grain in there, nothing messing with your puppy's belly. In fact, organic seaweed, antioxidants to make everything perfect for your dog. For your doggy dog. It's a privately owned company. That means the only shareholders are your dogs. 3 sizes, 6 flavors, all interchangeable. Made in the USA with the world's finest ingredients. It's 100% complete balanced nutrition for all stages of life. You go to Safeway, Save Mart, Smart and Final, Winco. Learn more at SupremeSourcePet.com. At Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food. Bark, bark. Do more for your puppy's belly than just rubbing it. Dak Prescott, the Cowboys are frauds. Top fantasy quarterbacks. We'll get into that next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Eileen Javor in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We'll continue to see periods of rain through the day today and into this evening. Expect some gustier winds at times, especially this afternoon and evening, and maybe even a thunderstorm. Get the latest forecast in the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. Discover Roseville's hidden gem. Timbers at the Lodge, nestled in the Timber Creek Golf Course. Savor a culinary journey where every bite tells a story. We serve breakfast 7 days a week with happy hour Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m., where you can relax on the outdoor patio next to our newly renovated and expanded putting green. Thursdays always feature our $28 prime rib dinner. Reservations encouraged. Learn more at timbersatTheLodge.com. We look forward to welcoming you to Timbers at the Lodge, where exceptional food meets great times.
Don't you just love this time of year and the holidays when families get together to make memories? Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. From the time I was a youngster, the family table was always filled with a gathering of grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters. Those are memories that will live with me forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now gives you the opportunity to find the perfect holiday gift that will last a lifetime. You'll find unique gifts like gleaming accessories for every room, now 20% off. During Naturewood's Holiday Home Sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now. The memories you make with your family will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. Stockton Honda.
Oh my God. And that feeling of
even the setup, I'm like, okay, I'm knowing what to expect. And then even after, like, oh my God. And then I saw the video of him talking like, hey, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm like, how?
Well, and during the broadcast, Joe Rogan was, and he was right, was yelling at the officials for letting him stand. At any point, he should not have stood.
No.
He said, this is how torn ACLs happen. Your legs aren't under you. He was clearly concussed. And they need to have better training on that. You can really, I mean, look, let's be honest. Long-term, concussions are bad and worse than knee injuries. But in your fight career, you're going to recover from a concussion almost always much easier than you're going to recover from a torn ACL. Let's focus on The Dallas Cowboys for a second in the spotlight. Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, seemingly 1-2 or 2-1, depending on how you want to do it in the MVP race going into this weekend with guys like Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa, maybe even Christian McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill on the outside. Tyreek Hill is a little bit hurt, and you saw that yesterday. He did not have a great game. Christian McCaffrey did have a wonderful game. We'll see what happens with Jalen Hurts tonight. Fantasy owners, be aware if you're not already. I'm sure you are, but especially with a lot of folks' playoffs starting this week. Jalen Hurts is questionable for tonight with an illness. He was downgraded over the weekend, so you're going to want to pay attention to that heading up to, unless there's been an update I haven't seen, heading up to game time tonight. But Dallas coming off a big win against Philadelphia. They finally beat a team above 500. I know Seattle kind of counts there, but no longer above 500. And they go into Buffalo, a Buffalo team that was coming off a good win and needs to continue to win to get into the playoffs. And as usual, when Dallas is just when people start to believe in the Cowboys, they show up.
Murray, the lone setback, takes the handoff, tries to work over the left side, and they're trying to push him over the goal line. There's a surge on a second effort, and the refs are coming in to see if he crossed. It's a touchdown.
Josh Allen found James Cook, Dalvin's brother.
Back to pass, going to roll out to his right, flings it to the end zone for James Cook for an 18-yard touchdown reception.
That made it 14-0. Then Josh Allen took matters into his own hands.
There's the snap, going to go over the left side, and he's into the end zone. Eric Wood playing soothsayer on a 1-yard touchdown run by Josh Allen.
James Cook wanted more.
Here's the snap. Give us to Cook. Goes behind Dawkins through a hole. Down to the 10, the 5, and he leaps into the end zone. James Cook with his second touchdown of the game. 1 receiving, 1 rushing.
31-3 at that point. It was academic. Cowboys got a trash time touchdown to make it 31-10 as your final. And once again, I don't think there is a more fraudulent team in American sports, at least over the last 10 years, than the Dallas Cowboys. The amount of times that the Cowboys get their fans, and by the way, to be fair, their fans and football fans excited that this might be the year, Listen, they're going to make the playoffs. And I'll tell you right now, if they do some damage in the playoffs, I think I would say for the Cowboys, if they make the NFC Championship game, I think that, whereas the Niners, it's Super Bowl or bust. I actually think if the Cowboys just simply make the NFC Championship game, I think most Cowboy fans, although not satisfied, will consider it a positive year because that's just something the Cowboys don't do. They now fall a half game behind the Eagles, make that a full game should the Eagles win tonight as they are supposed to. Dallas still has a plus 167-point differential even after last night, which is second in the NFL to the 49ers at plus 191. But they just don't show up. They just do not show up when they need to, whether regular season or the playoffs. I'll give them the win against the Eagles, but again, and I think I'm being fair here, though I do, full disclosure, I do hate the Cowboys. I'll give them that win. It was a good, solid win. But I still think the Eagles would beat the Cowboys 8 out of 10 times. I did not come away from that game thinking the Cowboys were the better team than the Eagles. I came away from that game respecting the Cowboys for stepping up, but also looking at the Eagles exiting the toughest gauntlet any team's going to have to face this year and losing their final 2 games, completely depleted. Let's put it this way. If the Eagles and Cowboys play again and in the playoffs and both are relatively healthy, there's no chance I'm taking the Cowboys. Dak Prescott talked about playing bad on the road.
Obviously, we'd love to come out, start like we play at home, produce like we do at home, but that just hadn't been the case. So we've got to find out what those answers are and try to close that gap. And we can't be those two different of a teams. Winning like we do at home against obviously a good team last week and then come out here today and just don't get anything done.
7-0 at home are the Dallas Cowboys. 7-0. But they are 3-4 on the road. Mike McCarthy echoed his thoughts.
It's a gap. That's is part of my message. I just, we play so well at home, and there's just too big of a gap in our road games. We're conscious of it. Got a long flight home to continue to talk about it, think about it. Now, obviously, we got to move on to Miami in the morning. We'll get this one corrected.
Well, we'll see. It doesn't get any easier for Dallas. We said, look, if they win out, I would give Dak the MVP, assuming he played well. By the way, in case you were wondering, well, was it a good game or was it a bad game, but Dak played well? No. 21 of 34 for 134 yards and an interception. No touchdowns for a QBR of 38.4. That's 38.4 for Dak Prescott. Just to give you an idea of how terrible that is, Brock Purdy was 16 of 25 for 242, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks, whereas Dak had a QBR of 38.4. Brock Purdy more than doubled him, 93.0 QBR. 93. One more note going into tonight, you might be surprised to hear. I'm sure all you playoff fantasy players took this into account. The top 11 quarterbacks so far this week, from bottom to top: Nick Mullins, Jake Browning, Easton Stick, Gardner Minshew, Derek Carr, Aiden O'Connell, Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield, and the number one fantasy QB this week so far, Jared Goff. And that's going into tonight. You got to learn the free agent wire if you're going to win a fantasy football league. That is for sure. My goodness gracious. Also, we got to talk about Aaron Rodgers a little bit later as well. In the meantime, I want to talk about 21 different flavors of fire wing to choose from. Because it is Monday, you got a Kings game. You got Eagles and Seahawks. And it's also Monday. Who wants to cook on a Monday? Go to Fire Wings. You can order right now. Right now. You can order Fire Wings and pick them up whenever you wish. Well, they have to be open, of course. Beat the lines. Just walk in there with whatever card you use to pay for them online. Show your card and walk out with a nice bag of fresh, piping hot Fire Wings. And no, they haven't been sitting there for 3 hours like from other places do. They'll make them ready to go when you get there. Fast, easy, convenient. Great place to watch a game as well, by the way. 21 different flavors. You heard me right. Everything from Saigon Street, my favorite breaded Malaysian curry, and of course your old standby. Is lemon pepper, garlic, buffalo. Go to firewings.com. Find the location nearest you. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. Fire Wings. Just wing it. Jiffy Lube drive of the game. You can sneak in, get ahead right now at 1-800-920-1140. Kings beat the Jazz despite De'Aaron Fox being out. We'll take a look at that and tonight's matchup with the Wizards next.
The 49ers have secured their playoff berth, and now they chase the NFC's top seed.
Purdy out of the shotgun, looks left, throws end zone. Ha! George Kittle in the back of the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Check out all the 49ers games with Greg Papa and Tim Ryan.
On your home for the playoff-bound 49ers. Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
It's Credit Christmas at Prestigio Jewelers. Get the gifts you want this year. Prestigio guarantees your credit up to $10,000. It's easy. Have a valid ID, proof of income, and be 18 or older. Prestigio has competitive pricing on all jewelry such as gold chains, wedding sets, diamond earrings, and designer brands like Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Rebuild your credit, even with a repo or a bankruptcy at Prestigio Jewelers. This Christmas, come for the credit and be amazed by the selection at Prestigio Jewelers. Online at prestigiojewelers.com.
This holiday season, visit Boot Barn for top quality gifts that pay tribute to the lasting heritage of the West. From handcrafted cowboy boots and American-made felt hats to hand-stitched leather jackets, our in-store experts will help guide you as you shop, assisting with boot fitting and providing complimentary hat shaping. This holiday, share a piece of the American spirit. Boot Barn. Unwrap the West.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Carmichael Dave.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
He gives to Malik on the right angle. Malik dances with the dribble. Probes, pulls it back to three-point range. Invited to shoot. Now he probes, steps back. He sets Keegan. Can he do it? Yes! There's number 11, Keegan Murray from Malik Monk. Buddy Hield has the Sacramento franchise record for the most threes in a game with 11. That was against the Boston Celtics 4 years ago in Massachusetts. And that record has just been tied by Keegan Murray. Here's Keegan on the left angle as the Jazz missed the shot, and Keegan goes for two more. He's up to 42 off the dribble, and this is turning into one of those nights that will be etched forever in the memory of Sacramento Kings fans.
Jiffy Lube driving the game. Call right now, 1-800-920-1140. If you can remember which was the drive of the game as spelled out by Gary Gerald, you get a $100 gift certificate to Jiffy Lube. And listen, if you take that $100 gift certificate, you decide to re-gift it to somebody as we're close to Christmas, I'm not going to tell anyone. I'm just saying. 1-800-920-1140. So while all this was going on, the Warriors were playing a game, and the post-game press conference, Steph Curry was asked about Keegan, and, well, he didn't know.
Up in Sacramento tonight, Keegan Murray started 12 of 13 from three. You've hit
what?
Yeah, in the first three quarters. You've hit 13 in the game
finished
before. It's still going on.
He got hit with it. Clay hypothetically had 18 in Chicago if he would have stayed in the game. And is it still going on?
Well, just how
He's still at.
difficult?
This is dope. He's still at 12.
I think so.
Pull it up, Anthony. Come on. Yes.
How would you just describe that record, just in terms of its difficulty to achieve? You know, you and Clay have both been up there.
I mean, when the team knows you're hot, they're gonna start to shade your way, take your looks away. You gotta sustain that over the course of a game. 12 or 13 is nuts.
He's 12 for 14 right now.
He's getting them up. How much time's left? Stay tuned. No, but we'll see.
And he then said, I'm going to go watch it. Anyway, he watched it, and, well, let's be honest. Keegan was pulled and then put back in with some time on the clock. Some time left in the quarter, if you will. And Keegan had two more opportunities. And he was 0 of 2. He started 12 of 13, gets put back in, misses both. Is the spotlight too big for Keegan Murray? 1-800-920-1140. You know what? Actually, I want to switch up this Jiffy Lube thing. I completely forgot.
No, this is separate.
Oh, it's completely separate?
Yes. So we've got the drive of the game, and this is a new contest that will happen.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, then I shouldn't have cleared the phone lines then. Okay, call back. Okay, because later on, okay, I got you. So this is a totally separate thing where you can win a different $100 gift card and $100 towards a Christmas tree?
Correct.
Wow. All right, so Vieira Farms and Jiffy Lube are teaming up for our next contest, not now, where you're going to have to finish lyrics from a song, a Christmas song. Interesting. Okay, very good. Jiffy Lube drive of the game right now, the 1-800-920-1140. No De'Aaron Fox. Domantas Sabonis had a great game, 20 points, 10 boards, 8 assists, 2 steals on 9 of 10 shooting in 35 minutes. But the story obviously was Keegan Murray, and he spoke to Draper and Bibby after the game.
Let's welcome in the star of the night, my guy, Keegan Murray. Keegan, first of all, congrats, man. You still feel like you're hot right now? You still got the green light? You still ready to do a heat check out there?
I think I cooled off a little bit in the fourth, but I felt good the whole game. Just kept it rolling. So,
Keegan, you were on fire. What was going through your head? Did you know that you were close to the record? Were you going to go for it?
No, I had no idea. I don't really care about records and stuff like that. They're cool and all. We got the team win, which is the biggest thing, and they just kept feeding me the ball because I had the hot hand. So kudos to my teammates. They're big in everything I did tonight.
Keegan, you had 6 points in that first quarter, bounced back with 13 in the second, 26 in the third. When did you know that, you know what, this might be one of those nights?
You kind of black out in the moment. Just it feels like you're taking every possession one thing at a time, and each shot's a different shot, and you kind of just look up at the score at the end of the game and realize what you got. So that's kind of what happened tonight.
Keegan, I want to put into context what you did tonight. A franchise record 12 3-pointers, 26 points in the third, surpassing Mitch Richmond, the Hall of Famer, the all-time great for most points in a quarter by a Sacramento King. What does that mean to you, man?
It's big. There's a lot of great players that have played and put on the Sacramento uniform. So just being able to put my name with those is a great feeling. I know that later on I'll realize how special it is. And in the moment, I know it's special. So just being able to be with those names is big.
Hey, man, congrats on this win. Lastly, before I let you get out of here, how nice was it to be able to get this win, especially without De'Aaron Fox? Seemed like a number of guys stepped up.
Yeah, when he was out early on in the year, we kind of struggled a little bit without him in Houston and Golden State. And we knew losing him, especially against OKC, he had 40 points. It's a big hole. So it was a team effort tonight, and we came out with the win.
Keegan, I might try to find you after the game, man. I got the box score in my hand. I'm going to give it to you so you can frame this thing, my man. Congrats on a great night tonight. Great game, Keegan. Appreciate you, my man.
All right. That was Draper and Bibby interviewing Keegan Murray after the game, who was beside himself with excitement. He says all the right things. He's very polished. Doesn't care about records. I believe him. Teammates were feeding him the ball. Credit to them.
I will say, I think it matters into people make fun of him on the team, so he's got some firepower to go back at them. I don't think it's, I've got the most points in Kings history.
Yeah, it's more like,
in a quarter.
Quit checking my dunks there, Malik. Don't worry about it, Malik. I love, too, by the way, how surprised Steph Curry was. Not surprised, just into it, I think the record matters to him. I really think the record matters to him. Now, if Keegan has less than 47 tonight, is he a bust? I don't know the answer to that. But I think a lot of us are thinking the same thing. Is this the unveiling? Is this a quantum leap, if you will, for Keegan Murray? And is it time to really consider him a third star? On Friday, there were rumors that Lauri Markkanen might be available. The idea being both Toronto and Utah. If Toronto was going to give away OG Anunoby, trade, I should say, OG Anunoby, or Pascal Siakam, Keegan Murray would have to be involved. Kings fans, unfortunately, so many of them, we do this every year, are trying to package Harrison Barnes, Davion Mitchell, and picks. A package that is incredibly unattractive to most of your NBA GMs.
Okay, what about also Alex Len?
Well, now it's different. It's like we feel like if we take the players we want to trade, but we just put a lot of them in the deal, that another GM's going to be like, oh my gosh. When in the meantime, it's more one of those, you'll shoot your eye out, like you're delusional. But then the Lauri Markkanen thing came up, and there were a not insignificant amount of Kings fans that would have been okay for including Keegan Murray in a deal with Lauri Markkanen. And Lauri Markkanen was an all-star, and Lauri Markkanen is a fine player. But the things have changed for this team now. It's not just a matter of if we can get talent, we should get talent. That's why he didn't get Bradley Beal last year. It's got to be the right fit. Here's the thing with Lauri Markkanen. Is it good to have scoring? Yes. This is a guy that does pretty good on the old reboundings. It's nice. But the Kings have like one major upgrade left in the starting lineup, almost certainly for this run. One major upgrade. The idea that Lauri Markkanen is that upgrade is almost as asinine as Zach LaVine being that major upgrade, because we're getting lost in NBA 2K and fantasy basketball worlds. You got to look just beyond, hey, it would be neat to have another star. Sure it would. Lauri Markkanen's also the number one option on the Jazz right now. Lauri Markkanen is averaging 8.5 boards this year. He had 8.6 last year. You don't think he and Sabonis are going to occupy some of that same space? You think those numbers are going to stay there? Excuse me. You think those rebound numbers are going to stay around 8.5 when he's playing next to Sabonis? Nope. He's still going to average 23.5 points a game as at best probably the third option on the team? Nope. And despite what people want to say, because you get too lost in numbers, Lauri Markkanen is not a good defender, although somebody did tell me over the weekend that Lauri Markkanen is a borderline elite defender. Have you watched Lauri Markkanen play? Yes. Look at the numbers, okay? Who's he playing next to? Walker Kessler. Who did he play next to before that? Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. Those are three elite rim-protecting defenders. It's going to make you look a little bit better. That's why Steph Curry's defensive box plus minuses are a lot better than they probably should have been for many, many years, because he was protected by the guys behind him. Lauri Markkanen is not an elite defender. He is at best an average defender. And if you're going to make an upgrade on this team, a team that literally had the greatest offense in the history of the sport last year and then added shooting, bringing in Lauri Markkanen is bringing sand to the beach. Yeah, you're going to outscore teams on a lot of nights, but welcome to New Millennium Portland. That's who you're going to be. Your ceiling, you might make a Western Conference Finals. You'll be in the playoffs every year. You'll be above 500 every year. And look, for some fans, that's enough. I get it. 16 years out of the playoffs, I get it. I want a championship. That's not a championship squad. The championship edition, I keep saying it over and over and over again. Who is your Aaron Gordon? Go back through during the break and Wikipedia lists of NBA champions over the last 20 years. You tell me how many of them did not have one, if not two, elite defenders on the team. Elite defenders. We're talking all defense, top 2, top 3 teams. We'll qualify that as elite. Doesn't happen. Bring in Lauri Markkanen, that's awesome. You'll lose in the Western Conference semis, game 6, 148-144. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Brendan Nunes will join us, Sacramento Kings insider for Sacktown Sports. We'll talk all of this stuff with him now.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-775-5622. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-775-5622. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-775-5622. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Get ready for the Gin Blossoms at Gold Country Casino Resort. Get your tickets now at goldcountrycasino.com. The Gin Blossoms. January 13th at 8 p.m. Only at
Gold Country Casino Resort.
Must be 21 or older. Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you thought last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day. Available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Subcontractors. Grow your business with more leads and leverage your marketing costs to receive over 10 times the value in advertising. Subcontractors United is offering 40 home services contractors to join our advertising co-op. For under $2,100 a month, you'll share in over $83,000 a month in advertising. That's $1 million a year in advertising for under $2,100 a month. There's only 3 subcontractors per category, not 3,000. So lead potential is unlimited. Google Subcontractors United for more information.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-11.
Maybe 844.
Perfect.
Somewhere in that neighborhood. Vieira Farms and Jiffy Lube have teamed up. You get a $100 gift certificate to Jiffy Lube and a $100 gift certificate towards a Christmas tree. And we're just going to play you a Christmas song, a very well-known Christmas song. And all you have to do is finish the line. It's that simple. In the meantime, joining us right now, Sacktown Sports Kings Insider. Filling it. What happened to Frankie today, by the way? He just
had a doctor's appointment.
Are we buying it?
I mean, here's the thing. I'll buy it. But here's my question. And of course, if there's something like really wrong with him, I'm sorry. I'm sorry in advance. But if this is just like a doctor's appointment, Brendan, you're young. Frankie's young. You guys are trying to establish yourselves, make it in the business, build a resume. Chris, do we flip around the times we have Frankie on someday? Isn't it usually Mondays at 8?
Yep.
Every Monday at 8, right?
Yep.
So when you're making a doctor's appointment, wouldn't you look down at your calendar, perhaps, Brendan, and say, oh, can't do Monday at 8?
That would make sense to me, but Frankie's my guy. He's filling in for Joe while Joe is on vacation and taking on a bigger load. So, I get what you're saying for sure. But, I think Frankie's got a lot going on.
Well, I like Frankie. Frankie's my guy too. I champion the old pizza guy. That's my guy. I'm a
pizza guy.
I'm just saying.
Our King's Cowboy.
Yeah, King's Cowboy. Just priorities. That's fine. Well, hopefully Frankie can join us next week. But in the meantime, that's fine. I would rather talk to you anyways. Good morning. Before we get into specifics, just in case I've stumbled onto accidentally some sort of radio gold, if you and I are on opposite ends here. I don't know if you heard before you joined us, me talking about Lauri Markkanen. And who, by the way, the Jazz have said is not available. So this is all just for funsies. But I think it's important philosophically as we enter trade season to start talking about this. I would not have been a fan, especially giving up Keegan Murray, which was the idea. I just don't know that Lauri Markkanen's the right fit for this team. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's understandable. I mean, I do think that the aspect of size that he would bring to the Kings, say you're talking Keegan, Lauri, and Domas, like the Kings really do lack in some size. So he interests me. I don't think that that's a guy, obviously, that you would entertain really Keegan being a part of the conversation. So it really depends on the assets you're talking about. And I also don't buy him not being available. I think a lot of players in the league are available. It's all price considered, right?
Right.
And Utah's not in a good spot. Danny Ainge kind of known for liking picks. Say Sacramento was willing to offer a couple future picks. It's not that hard to match Lauri Markkanen's $17 million salary goes into next year as well. I could talk myself into it, but I think I pretty easily would prefer to spend the assets on somebody else that makes a bigger impact defensively specifically.
And that's kind of my overarching point. I think Lauri's a fine player. I think that if Lauri Markkanen were to add himself to look, if you were to be able to use the Kings fans' number one trade package of Harrison Barnes, Davion Mitchell, and picks, and you got Lauri Markkanen, I think they're a better team with Lauri Markkanen. I don't think there's a question that they're a better team with Lauri Markkanen. What I worry about, Brendan, is the whole chessboard and the idea that although if anybody can squeeze out of things, it's Monty. let's look at a team with Lauri Markkanen, who's making what, 20 million, 18 million a year, something like that through next year. You now add him into Fox and Sabonis's extension now. And you're going to probably have to pay or lose Malik. Well, you are going to have to pay or lose Malik Monk this summer, and I expect they'll pay him. My worry is that their next big move, whether it was, be a Markkanen or a LaVine or an Anunoby or a Siakam or a player we don't know, but somebody of that caliber, that's going to be their ride or die team for the most part for at least the next 2-3 years. And I don't think Lauri Markkanen on this team is a championship level team, whereas I do think if they get that wing defender they covet so much, I do think that's a championship level team.
Yeah, I think that there's certainly guys that fit that caliber. And I think if you're going for maybe the lesser move of not all out for a third star, that there's probably some better fit options. Like, I'm a big fan of Dorian Finney-Smith.
Mm-hmm.
You could get also in a tough spot where, I'm sure at least a pick would be involved there, where you lock up some of your future picks as well and make a bigger deal more difficult, because you're right. I agree with you. The way that this team eventually reaches championship contention, in my mind, is going and trading for that third star.
Yeah.
So you need to keep those assets there. You need to keep your chest full. And Lauri's not the guy I'm shelling it out for. And if you want to make a smaller move to get better right now, I just think that there's better options. So I'm definitely with you there.
How do you feel about the one name I've seen floated out there that does kind of, again, he's not going to blow people away. He's not that name level as like a Siakam or a Markkanen or a LaVine or maybe an Anunoby, but I doubt it. But Keldon Johnson with the Spurs, if in fact the rumors are true that he may be available, that's a guy, although he's not an elite wing defender per se, he is a strong wing defender who I feel like adds enough offense to make him not a sieve like a Matisse Thybulle would be. Your thoughts on Keldon Johnson fitting on this team?
Yeah, he interests me. I wouldn't mind that. Obviously, all of this is price considered, as it would be with any sort of trade conversation here. But, I think that that's a guy that could make some sense. Like you're saying, he does play some defense. I think that he's a smart player. We saw him play pretty well with Team USA in the past. He's done decent from the three-point line, even though he's fairly inconsistent. He's 36% this year, even if it was just below 33% last year. It interests me. He's confusing player to me, though, to be honest. Like, I feel like very night to night, you don't know what you're getting. And he's young, so that's part of the experience when you're talking about a guy that's 24, but he's, I believe, about to enter restricted free agency, which adds complications to that conversation as well, but also makes sense why he'd be on the block. I feel like that's typically the time where if a team doesn't know, say the Spurs aren't sure they want to re-sign him, a different team gets a test trial for a little while, right? So if you're paying the price with that considered, then sure, try it out. You get to test it and decide if you want to shell out the money for him, if you think it's worth it, come restricted free agency.
And to be clear, as we talked to Brandon Nunes, Sacramento Kings insider for Sacktown Sports, I'm talking about, any of the names I meant. To me, unless it is a blow you away type name, and I don't think any of the names I've mentioned, even Siakam and Anunoby, are blow you away type names. This is assuming the Kings would hold on to their core of Sabonis, Fox, and Keegan Murray, which leads me to my next question. You mentioned them going out and getting a third star. So you got a guy who's drafted top 5 in the NBA. His rookie year, he broke the all-time record for three-pointers. He just popped off 47 points Saturday and did that starting out 12 of 13, and the all-time record is 14, shared by a couple of guys, three-pointers. And who, by all accounts, his biggest contribution this year has been the step up from average to now above average wing defender. Why are we not, as a fan base, and if we are, correct me, why are we not coveting Keegan Murray as a guy who is absolutely tracking as the third all-star on this team?
Well, I mean, I think that there were, for what it's worth, I think a lot of the fan base is, but there are some questions, and I've been one that has been a little bit more on the unsure side, admittedly. Like at the time of the draft, obviously I was pretty unsure of Keegan, which wasn't exactly a hot take. And he proved me, like, changed my opinion very quickly in that rookie year. And even outside of that ridiculous night, the other game, he's made a crazy amount of progress defensively throughout the course of this year. Might be their best defender, taking a step as a rebounder. I think a little bit of tertiary passing in there as well. It's just that, like, before that, we hadn't seen that much of the self-creation. He tries to get to that mid-range a little bit more this year. But, you know, I kind of always pictured like a Tobias Harris sort of career arc for Keegan. And not saying the exact same type of player, but career arc, like maybe an all-star in there, kind of fringe all-star. And that's a very valuable player, but that's not somebody that's untouchable or necessarily like an ideal third star, except for on the right season. And maybe I'm wrong. That game, like, really threw me through a loop, to be honest. Like, it's ridiculous numbers. It's ridiculous numbers. And obviously that probably will never be replicated by Keegan Murray, and it should never expect to be. But if he can keep up that three-point shooting, and really it's the fact that he got up, and I know you acknowledge this, what was it, 23 shots in that game?
Yep.
That ties the most that he put up even in college.
That's right.
Like, that is what kind of needs to emerge, right? Is him having that confidence and willingness to get those shots up and work through the kinks. So I do think he's right there. And or there's reason to believe that he could emerge into that third star. And obviously that was a really big time performance to make you believe in some sort of proof into that. But I'm not he's totally untouchable guy, and I know people don't like to hear that.
Well, it's your opinion though, and some people are going to disagree with it, and that's fine. Brendan Nunes joining us. I was looking at numbers and something clicked with me Saturday night. Now, to be clear, I'm talking ceiling. I'm talking best case. I'm saying there's a long way to go. But when you look at their two careers and how they started out and you look at their strengths, we're talking about elite outside shooting. We're talking about underrated defense that turns out to be above average, if not borderline elite. It seems like Keegan is certainly perhaps tracking that way. Is it an unfair comparison to compare Keegan Murray to a young Klay Thompson?
I mean, it feels unfair to compare anybody to Klay Thompson, but
sure,
Keegan might be pretty deserving. Like, the 3-point numbers he's put up are ridiculous. And that's since he joined the league. Like, he's proven to be an elite 3-point shooter. And despite the slump at the beginning of this year, like, his numbers are way better since coming back from that back injury. And I think it looked pretty clear that had been bothering him throughout the course of some of these games. I see it. I see it, you know, and you look at the guys that have made 12 plus threes in a game. Kings Cowboy, shout out Frankie, you know, here in spirit, put it out after the game. You go Klay Thompson, Damian Lillard, Zach LaVine, Steph Curry, Kobe Bryant, Donyell Marshall, which I might need an education on, I'm not going to lie, and then Keegan Murray. Like, there's no, maybe Donyell Marshall's the outlier here, but for the most, these are elite players. Sure. Guys don't just fall into this. He is that level of shooter. He's becoming the level of defender that Klay Thompson is. So I see the parallel. I just struggle to expect somebody to be Klay Thompson, but I understand it.
Yeah, when you get a chance later today, because you're definitely showing your age, you're going to need to look up UConn's Donyell Marshall and watch his runs. You know, he had a fine NBA career. God, I want to say he played 17 or 18 seasons. He played for a long time, 21 years old to 35 years old. But Donyell Marshall in college was something else. We're talking to Brendan Nunes, CBS Sports, Sacktown Sports Kings insider.
You're trying to get me to work somewhere else every week, Dave.
I don't know why. I don't know why that's the second time I think I've attached you to CBS Sports. Last week because I was looking at Dave Richards' name. Either way, though, hey, if that's a promotion, I guess go for it. Kings Wizards tonight. Someone tried to call us a trap game earlier. I'm not buying it. This is the third worst team in the NBA. Everyone talks about the Spurs and the Pistons, but this is the third worst team in the NBA. However, as Chris pointed out earlier, they were pretty close with Phoenix the other night. They had a win over the Pacers a couple games ago. But, Brendan, without getting super crazy sports talk hyperbole, this should be a blowout for the Kings, no?
It should, especially because they're coming off a back-to-back where, they played that Phoenix team really well, actually. But those guys played heavy minutes. Tyus Jones, 39 minutes. All of their starters, 30-plus. Kuzma, 34. Denny Avdija, 32. Daniel Gafford, 35. Jordan Poole, 32. Like, they can score on the right night. They haven't been good from three, but they've been good from inside the arc. And every team is going to have their nights where it goes down from three, and they play with really good pace. I think they move the ball okay. So it's not like this team does nothing, but the Kings are a vastly superior team when it comes to talent, the continuity, the way that this team fits together, and it should be a blowout. But it's the NBA, and as long as the Kings, I think, bring their defensive intensity, which I think got overlooked a little bit, understandably, in that game against Utah, holding that team to, what was it, like 104, 105 points, somewhere in there, 104 for Utah. If they can just not let Washington put up 115 plus, which I think should be a reasonable task, then it really should be a blowout.
Going back to Keegan real quick, the dangerous comp to make, and please hear me out on this comp. I'm really talking more about a Monty McNair type, because in Keegan Murray, I'm starting to get the same types of feelings I got about Tyrese Halliburton with Keegan Murray. Now, please let me acknowledge Tyrese Halliburton is arguably the best point guard in the NBA right now. If not, he's top 3, top 4. He has gone leaps and bounds from where he was. And even when he was with Fox and with the Kings, you could see these glimpses. With Tyrese, it was always really not so much, this guy could lead the league in assists or lead the league in, scoring, whatever it may be. It was the efficiency in which the amount of times he'd have these, 7-8 assist games, shooting 50, 40, 90 with 1 or 0 turnovers. That was his superpower. Whereas with Keegan, as you talked about, his superpower seemed to be an increasingly developed elite outside shot, increasingly developing elite wing defense. What I mean by I get some of the same feelings about Keegan that we got with Tyrese is it seems like those two are that prototypical Monty McNair type that are NBA ready, but really come their third season, fourth season, we're going to see these massive leaps. Do you see where I'm going there?
Yeah, I think it's hard to predict the leaps, but he definitely has a type, or this front office in general. Like, they're going to pick the player that is good at basketball. As simple as that sounds. Like, sometimes there's tantalizing prospects that are amazing hypotheticals, and sometimes they turn into Giannis. Sometimes they are
Sekou
Doumbouya.
There you go.
Okay. Like, it's going to happen sometimes, but the Kings are not a team that are going to take those risks. Even in the second round, really, it doesn't feel like we've seen them take like big risks. So I see it for sure. And they've been proving us wrong that like low ceiling was something that was labeled on both of these guys. And that feels wrong about both of these. And getting them into a healthy, good system, I think, is a big part of this. When you can draft a guy into a team that has a culture, has a coach that keeps you accountable and pushes you to keep improving your game. That's a big part of Tyrese's development as well, is being under Rick Carlisle now and having a system fully around him. So I think that it's a combination of a lot of things, but they definitely have a type of guys that, as simple as it sounds, for sure know how to play basketball and have the mindset and work ethic to make you believe they are going to keep improving.
Jimmer Fredette, Ben McLemore, Thomas Robinson.
Yeah, I guess there's a couple of Kings examples.
Luka Doncic, even on the other end, Marvin Bagley. I'm reading off names that historically a lot of Kings fans would throw out there to illustrate missing on the Klay Thompsons, the Kawhi Leonards, the Lukas of the world. Can we now feel comfortable, even though it's a little weird because he's no longer with us on the team, but can we now look at Tyrese Halliburton as the biggest steal in Sacramento Kings history?
I mean, I don't know if there's somebody you can think of a little
Maybe,
further back, Dave.
maybe Kevin Martin in the 20s, but I think Tyrese Halliburton's already a better player than Kevin Martin was.
No,
And
yeah.
granted, Tyrese was still a lottery pick, but I think Tyrese Halliburton, where the Kings picked him, is literally one of the biggest steals we've seen since Nikola Jokic in the second round. That's where it's trending, at least. Maybe it's time the Kings get a little bit of credit for doing the other side.
They definitely deserve some credit for that. I do think I was going to say a lot of teams would have picked him there, but that's not fair because 11 teams had a chance.
That's right.
Yeah.
They did.
And you look at some of these names like Jalen Smith. We're going to see Denny Avdia tonight, Obi Toppin, Killian Hayes, Isaac Okoro, Patrick Williams in there. The Warriors must be driving themselves crazy. I know they really liked Tyrese at the time of the draft.
Yeah.
He's a star at 12, a legitimate star, and Sacramento deserves credit for that. And they flipped him for a guy that really changed their team. And like that was the start of what gave them the ability to turn the whole thing around. So absolutely, they deserve an insane amount of credit for that. And it's one of the biggest steals that I can remember.
You deserve an insane amount of credit for filling in for Frank. You had a Parcheesi game or something to attend to. Couldn't make it today. Of course, we'll see him next Monday. Maybe we'll get him to take your normal spot this week since you guys flipped around. I don't know, Brendan. Maybe
We'll see if I want to give it up.
Yeah, see, there you go. We might just double up with you. You're exactly right. Appreciate you. Go to sacktownsports.com to read Brendan. Follow all his stuff on Twitter as well. If I don't talk to you before, brother, have a great holiday, okay?
Sounds good, Dave. You do the same.
All right, take care. That's Brendan Nunes. We will take a break. When we return, 4 down territory. We'll go over all the teams, good and bad, and more. Don't forget Matt Barrows at 9 a.m. for Niners at 9. We got a lot to get to in the last hour and a half of the program. We'll start that next.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that can help us win in a variety of areas. Obviously, our top guys are going to play every game, but there's going to be other times, whether it's injuries, matchups, we've got to have some variety on the bench for coach to point to and say, go in there and help us win.
Tune into every Kings game this season
on Sacktown Sports and sacktownsports.com.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sacktown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sacktown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Eileen Javor in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We'll continue to see periods of rain through the day today and into this evening. Expect some gustier winds at times, especially this afternoon and evening, and maybe even a thunderstorm. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's Kia's season of giving back at Folsom Lake Kia. Get low year-end prices and payments, plus low finance rates and even zero down deals with approved credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Does your dog leave frowny piles of poo around the yard? Did you know that a solid poo is one of the best indicators of your dog's gut health? Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food is made with organic super seaweed and other powerful antioxidants, supporting a healthy digestive system. Real protein is always the first ingredient, plus a blend of essential vitamins and minerals to help support your dog's overall health and well-being. Do their digestion a solid, literally. Find Supreme Source Premium Dog Food at Safeway, Safe Mart, and Winco, or a local grocery store near you.
It's Credit Christmas at Prestigio Jewelers. Get the gifts you want this year. Prestigio guarantees your credit up to $10,000. It's easy. Have a valid ID, proof of income, and be 18 or older. Prestigio has competitive pricing on all jewelry such as gold chains, wedding sets, diamond earrings, and designer brands like Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Rebuild your credit, even with a repo or a bankruptcy, at Prestigio Jewelers. This Christmas, come for the credit and be amazed by the selection at Prestigio Jewelers. Online at prestigiojewelers.com.
Get your retirement savings to play ball with your retirement plan. Call Cap Trust today at 916-924-7527 or log on to captrust.com.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Right now, the sewer system is probably the last thing on your mind. And that's okay, because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. If you have a sewer problem like a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sacktown Sports.
Next segment, we're going to queue up the Christmas Carol. Give you an opportunity to win not just a $100 gift certificate from Jiffy Lube, the second one of the day will be given away, but also a $100 gift certificate to go get yourself the perfect Christmas tree, as courtesy of Vieira Farm. So stay tuned for that. Do you have a favorite Christmas song, Chris? I hate. He asks and then flinches.
I don't know.
No, mine's "O Holy Night," but
yeah. What's weird is I'm not part of the church anymore, but my favorite Christmas songs are all the church hymn songs.
All the hymns?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a good background there. A lot of good songs coming out of the church albums, though. Yeah, they were what they were doing.
Oh, SNL, Billie Eilish did Dreaming of a White Christmas.
Was that this last weekend?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I did see However Weekend Update.
It was wild.
I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about it, so I'm just going to feel like I hope I'm supposed to, which is I don't know what the rules are always. I try to do the best I can, but if you haven't seen it, Michael Che and Colin Yost Colin happens to look like me. Michael Che is a man.
Easy there.
Well, although far better looking. Did I say Colin Yost?
Jost.
Jost.
I thought you were making a joke.
No, I wasn't. I don't know. I don't watch SNL except for that. And then Michael Che is a man of color. And the bit they've done, I want to say for 5 or 6 years now, is they each write the other jokes, but they haven't seen the jokes until they're on the teleprompter. And needless to say, they are, especially Michael Che, they are very, very, very controversial jokes. And Michael Che, I don't know if I want to call a human being a prop, but Michael Che brought in accoutrements to their exchange for the first time this year, and it was absolutely classic. Let me give you a couple things. We're going to get into 4 down territories. Props to this guy, pun intended. Put $2,000 on Brock Purdy to win MVP on February 11th. That's pretty awesome. He put $2,000. Brock Purdy was a plus $10,000 favorite, or should I say underdog, meaning that if he wins, this guy will win $202,000. Now, there is a place called Prop Swap where you can buy basically betting ticket futures at a discounted rate. He was just offered $90,000. So basically what it is you buy it for $90,000. And then a couple months from now, if Brock Purdy wins the MVP, hey, cool. You just made $110,000, but he's got to win it. Anyways, this guy was offered $90,000. He turned it down. He has upped his price to $100,000 on Prop Swap. Brock Purdy right now, the front runner for MVP. One more note, last night, the Ravens game, Lamar Jackson started. His team rushed for 250-plus yards. It was also the 22nd time Jackson outrushed the entire opposing team by himself. Both of those numbers are the most by any NFL starting quarterback since quarterback starts were first tracked in 1950. By the way, Niners, Ravens, Christmas Day. In the meantime, 4 down territory, Christopher Line. Question 1, please.
What team had the best weekend?
I mean, the Raiders played Thursday. They scored 63 points. I can't give it to them. There are a lot of choices here. I'm going to give it to Buffalo. You know, you're 7-6. You basically have to win out or get close to make the playoffs. Cowboys coming in fresh off of their win over the Eagles. They won 31-10. It looks like they are peaking at the right time. Let's see. Still a long way to go for Buffalo. Here's the bottom line. They now have wins in a row versus the Chiefs and the Cowboys. Let's not forget, by the way, they lost in Philadelphia 37-34 the week before in overtime in a game they very, very easily could have won. Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys would have been the best 3 in a row for any team this year. And they beat the Jets the week before that. Say what you want about the Jets. They do have a good defense. They beat them 32-6. When you look ahead for Buffalo, they have at Chargers, home Patriots, at Dolphins. Sounds like that game in Miami. What a great time to play in Miami, though, by the way, if you're Buffalo, January 7th. That game in Miami may very well be for Buffalo's playoff life. But they are 8-6. They look to be 10-6 going into that Dolphins game, most likely. So I'll give it to Buffalo. Second down, please.
What team had the worst weekend?
I'm going to stay in the same game, and I'll say the Cowboys. Look, all crap talking aside, the Cowboys now have wins over exactly what? one team, am I missing something here? One team above 500? The Seahawks are not currently above 500, so I'm looking here. Yeah, I'm not missing any. They've beaten one team that's above 500. That was the Eagles, 33-13. And I think it's okay to call that game perhaps an outlier because of what we've seen. And I'm cheating the Cowboys a little bit. Look, they beat the Eagles. And when they beat the Seahawks, they were above 500, 41-35 in Dallas. But they got beat 31-10 by the Bills, 28-23 by the Eagles earlier, and 42-10 against the Niners. So of their 4 losses, 3 have come to teams above 500. And 2 of those 3 have been absolute blowouts. I've said it all year. I'll continue to say it until they prove me otherwise. The Dallas Cowboys are the biggest fraud in the NFL. And Dak Prescott, who that was the big argument during the week, Purdy or Prescott, Prescott or Purdy. Dak Prescott absolutely, along with the rest of his team, to be fair, but he laid a complete egg. He was an absolute no-show, 21-34 for 134 yards and 1 interception. He was an absolute no-show. We'll get to that later, though. Third down, please.
What player had the best weekend?
There are a lot of options here. I'm going to stay local. Give me Christian McCaffrey. You could also have given it to Brock Purdy, perhaps, but I'm going to give it to McCaffrey here. Just another – this is an MVP caliber year for Christian McCaffrey. And the bottom line is this. The Niners most certainly will probably have 2 top 5 MVP vote getters in Purdy and McCaffrey. 18 carries, $115, 1 touchdown. 5 catches, 72 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a 41-yard catch. He had a 26-yard run. He had 3 touchdowns on the day. It's just a hell of a day for Christian McCaffrey, so he gets my player having the best weekend. Fourth down, please.
What player had the worst weekend?
I'll go back to Dak Prescott. And there are players that had, I'm sure, I could find worse games, worse weeks than Dak Prescott. As a matter of fact, one I will point out, Kadarius Toney again costing Patrick Mahomes an interception. Kadarius Toney has had a horrific year for the most part. He had 2 catches for 5 yards, but one of those catches was a ball thrown perfectly into his hands, which he somehow misplayed and was intercepted. Patrick Mahomes couldn't have thrown a better ball, but that will go down as an interception because Kadarius Toney is the Buddy Hield of the NFL, except not the production. 27 catches, 169 yards on the season for Kadarius Toney. They may want to address that in the offseason. They're probably missing Tyreek Hill quite a bit right now. Shea Rice, by the way, has been a standout for them. I'll give them that. But Dak Prescott was just a complete no-show. And when you think about the stakes involved for his team, the stakes involved for his individual award, absolutely, positively terrible. We'll take a break. When we come back, call in right now, 1-800-920-1140. We're going to give away a $100 gift certificate for a Christmas tree, a $100 gift certificate to Jiffy Lube. All you have to do is finish the lyrics of a very, very popular Christmas song, and then we'll get to the recap the pick 6 for the Niners and Cardinals and the 3 in the key for the Kings and Jazz. We'll do all that next.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
This is Kenny and Jerry from Bell Brothers Plumbing, Heating, and Air. If you're thinking about replacing your heating and cooling system, now's the perfect time to take action. It's Bell Brothers' end-of-the-year blowout, and it's happening now. We've got a limited number of high-efficiency furnace, AC, and heat pump systems in our warehouse. And we're offering $2,750 off qualifying systems if you buy between now and the end of the year. No gimmicks, no games, just a great price for buying now. If you got a quote elsewhere, we'd be happy to give you a second opinion. This is one of our best discounts of the year, but you have to hurry. When the systems are gone, the sale is over.
Call Bell Brothers for details and get up to $2,750 off any qualifying high-efficiency furnace, AC, or heat pump system.
Our number is 916-444-1234 or online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Hey, DC comic movie fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is playing Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, the IMAX experience, for a limited time.
I'm gonna murder his family and burn his kingdom to ash.
Experience this year's superhero film of the year on the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen. Getting tickets is easy. Visit IMAX.com/Sacramento for showtimes and reserved seating. And don't miss Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom at the Esquire IMAX Theater this week.
Amazon will be delivering packages to your house. Let Amazon deliver customers to your business. If that sounds good and you want more in 2024, simply text digital to 916-766-5105.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Book your free T-check and free exam at Revive Men's Health Sacramento. Now also offering affordable, cutting-edge weight loss medications. Call 916-277-8599 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. Offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
What's hot and what's not? Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company and second opinion partner.
Well, breaking show news. In addition to the $100 gift card for the drive of the game we gave away earlier from Jiffy Lube, in addition to the second $100 gift card, along with a $100 gift card to Viera Farms Christmas trees, we're giving away from Jiffy Lube as well. So $200 total in this contest we're going to get to in just a second. I see y'all on the phone lines. Next hour, we now have a third giveaway on the program. Hey, you know what? It's a week from Christmas, so we're trying to help you out. This is a good one, guys. A pair of lift tickets to Sierra at Tahoe. And I'm sure my brother is likely listening right now. No, you're not eligible. No, there aren't extras I can get you for free. But you all can get a pair of lift tickets to Sierra at Tahoe. We'll do that in the next hour. In the meantime, Chris has a song queued up. I see names on the board.
But we should probably say who's hot and who's not.
But before we get to Mason, I agree with you. We should say who's hot or who's not. Who is hot, Chris?
Keegan Murray.
Yeah, he is.
47 points. We've been talking about that. 16 of 23 and 15 from the three. But he also took home some records. The 12 made three-pointers are the most in Kings history.
Yeah, they are.
At 23, he is the youngest player in NBA history to make 12 three-pointers in a game.
Oh.
He also made 11 consecutive three-pointers in a row. That's also an NBA record.
Okay. I didn't know about the youngest part. I hadn't thought about that. 11 in a row, knew about that. Buddy Hield, his record went away. Knew about that. Yeah, Keegan Murray had quite the night Saturday night. I don't know why we think of it as an outlier. I'm not saying he's going to get 47 and 12 threes every night, but guys, he just played his 100th game. Like, let's all calm down and expect it from now on. Who's not, though?
The Detroit Pistons. They lost again, this time to the Bucks, 146-114 on Saturday. They've now lost 23 games in a row and are tied for 5th all time. They will play the Atlanta Hawks tonight, and if they lose again, they will be tied for 4th with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Wow. Yeah, they suck. And honestly, somebody asked me this the other day, like, well, who's worse, the A's or the Pistons? It's the Pistons. Because the Pistons, the draft is a lot different in the NBA than it is with baseball. Baseball, it's a much bigger crapshoot. Pistons also have the 25th highest payroll in the league, not dead last or close to it. And they just suck and make horrible decisions. I don't know how they don't clear out that entire front office, because you want to talk about running a team into the ground. Woof. All right. Let's get to the phone lines now. And let's start with Mason. Mason, good morning.
Good morning.
It's a fine, fine name you have, sir. I'm rooting.
Thank you.
I'm rooting for you as I would root for my son, Mason, as well. This is very simple. Are you a Christmas guy at all? I assume you have at least a peripheral knowledge of Christmas carols, Christmas songs.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so Chris is going to play a clip of a very popular Christmas song. All you need to do is give me the next line, and you've got a $100 gift certificate to Viera Farms and a $100 gift certificate to Jiffy Lube. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, and everybody listening on the line, same thing. Chris, go ahead. Roll tape.
Hurry down the chimney tonight.
That is absolutely correct. Congratulations, Mason. I'm so glad you got it on the first try.
Extra points for singing it.
I completely agree. I feel like that should be a requirement. Here's the thing with these contests and the advent of the internet. I really wanted the first person to get it because that's right on the fly. Because everybody else on the line is going to be Googling, Santa Baby lyrics. And that's just bad karma. Congratulations on your Santa Baby knowledge. Here's what you get, pal. Viera Farms, $100 gift certificate towards the perfect Christmas tree. Jiffy Lube, $100 gift certificate to winterize your vehicle. Thanks to both of those sponsors. And Mason, hold the line. We'll get all your info, okay?
Thank you.
Hey,
all right.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, my man. Happy holidays. All right. So that's that. Well done. I don't like that Simone's necessarily, though. I don't like that she pre-picked the songs.
That needs to happen because of lawyers.
You're kidding.
No.
I mean, I understand having the rules, but we have to pick the song in advance.
Mm-hmm.
I say this as a son of a lawyer. I just don't like lawyers. There's one good lawyer out of every 1,000. No, anyways, thank you to Simone for putting that together. Sierra Tahoe tickets coming up in the next hour, though. As soon as Chris gets Mason's information, we're going to look at our pick 6 for the Niners and Cardinals. We'll look at the 3 in the key for the Kings and the Jazz. In the meantime, let's recap real quick before we get to Matt Barrows at 9 a.m., and then we'll be previewing Kings versus Wizards tonight. But just in case you're just joining us, news broke this morning. Draymond Green has entered counseling and will be suspended for at least another 3 weeks. This just in, I'm just seeing this across the wire. This came in about an hour ago. I completely missed it. That's a sad story. Eric Montross, many of you might remember him. He was a big star at the University of North Carolina, has passed away at 52 years old from cancer. I did not see that at all. That is an incredibly sad story. He was selected 9th overall in the 94 NBA draft by the Celtics. He played for the Mavericks, the Nets, the Sixers, Pistons, and Raptors during his 8-year career. And since his playing career, radio analyst for Carolina broadcasts for 18 seasons. So very, very active in the North Carolina community. And I'm sure I joined everybody out there in thinking about his family today. Steph Curry last night. His 3-pointer streak ended at 268 games, but the Warriors were able to. I know, right? Sorry, Steph. 118-114 was the final. He was 0 of 8 from behind the arc, 2 of 12.
Keegan had 13 more or 12 more 3-pointers than he had.
I know, exactly. Steph Curry washed. He began the streak December 1st, 2018. Against the Detroit Pistons. Here's what's one of the many amazing things. He last went without one in a regular season game on November 8th, 2018, when he was 0 of 4 versus the Bucks. And I believe that broke the second longest NBA streak of three-pointers made at 157. So 157, misses one, then goes on 268. I have to imagine he probably won't get back to 268. He'd have to play, well, let's be honest, at least another 5, probably 6 years. But you never know. The greatest three-point shooter of all time. I will never forget, for all the crap that Mark Jackson gets and has gotten, including from myself, who desperately did not want him to coach this team. Mark Jackson did say very early on that Steph Curry and Klay Thompson were the greatest backcourt.
Very early.
Like, laughably early.
Yes.
And he got destroyed for saying that. I feel like we pull receipts all the time for people that miss things. You got to not have an agenda. Doesn't matter who says it. Look, even the worst person in the world, which Mark Jackson is not, by the way, but even the worst person you know could be right from time to time. And in this case, Mark Jackson was beyond right. Props to Mark for one of the best early takes we've seen in modern sports history. We're not going to be able to get to both of these, but we're going to do our 3 in the key for tonight at 9:27. So, Chris, you want to do 3 in the key or the pick 6 recap right now?
Let's do pick 6.
All right.
I had that music up.
Pick 6 recap. Niners Cardinals. As heard right here on Sacktown Sports. Okay. Pick 6. How'd we do, Chris? You asking me?
I thought you said you talked to Jason and you got it.
No, I got his 3 in the key for tonight.
Hold on, I'm getting a text. Nope, that's not it. Jason just texted me, but it wasn't about this.
Okay, we'll put a pin in that one. I thought Chris had the pick 6 from Friday. Chris thought I had the pick 6 from Friday. Jason Ross has the pick 6 from Friday. Am I correct also in assuming that neither of us have the 3 in the key from Friday?
I thought that's what you called him about.
I got him the 1-4 tonight.
Oh,
for tonight's game, I got that. All right, so
I'll reach out to Jason right now.
All right, so either today or tomorrow, it doesn't matter. One of these days, we'll at least recap the pick 6. Let's see if we can't get the 3 in the key as well. That's pretty good. We'll take a break. When we come back, Matt Barrows of The Athletic will join us for Niners at 9. We're also going to give away ski lift passes as well coming up at 9:13. It's the final hour of a Monday program. Sit back, relax. Matt Barrows, Niners at 9 on your home of the Niners, Sacktown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He stopped the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-775-5622. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-775-5622. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-775-5622. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD
offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler. They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
916-520-9990 now.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
It's Credit Christmas at Prestigio Jewelers. Get the gifts you want this year. Prestigio guarantees your credit up to $10,000. It's easy. Have a valid ID, proof of income, and be 18 or older. Prestigio has competitive pricing on all jewelry such as gold chains, wedding sets, diamond earrings, and designer brands like Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Rebuild your credit, even with a repo or a bankruptcy at Prestigio Jewelers. This Christmas, come for the credit and be amazed by the selection at Prestigio Jewelers. Online at prestigiojewelers.com.
For a business to thrive, there needs to be a constant stream of new customers. This happens through strong lead generation. Did you know that lead generation is one of the most important tools of any marketing campaign? Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products and services to them. To get started today, contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results today.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
The Athletic Sam Amick joins us every Thursday. But in lieu of him joining us not today, we will talk in the next segment about the latest Kings rumors when it comes to the trade market that he just magnified a little bit. Love the Athletic. If for no other reason, because they get us talent like Sam and our next guest each and every week, Matthew Barrows. Matt, good morning. It's Dave. Jason is out today. How are you, sir?
I'm great. So this is solo Dave I'm talking to today?
Solo. It's just you and I, just like the olden days.
That's right. That's right. That's old school.
That is very old school, the oldest of old school. And we're talking about the San Francisco 49ers who went into the Valley of the Sun. And I wouldn't say it was easy. I'm sure Steve Wilkes and friends are going to have some tough conversations today, giving up 29 points. But you know what? A win is a win is a win. They covered the spread. They went down and got a road win, so you got to be happy with that.
Yeah, they won by 16 points, and it wasn't always pretty, but they took care of business. And you could see other teams losing this game because there were some elements that, were difficult for the 49ers, one of which is that they were playing a team coming off its bye. And, the Cardinals don't have much to play for. This is sort of their Super Bowl at this point. Knock off the best team in the league in our house. And then the 49ers, of course, also were without two of their four starting defensive linemen, the two guys in the middle, and they're playing a team that likes to run the ball. So I think the 49ers understood going in that this would not be one of their dominant defensive performances where they hold the Cardinals to, 10 points, or I think they were holding teams to 11.6 coming out of the bye. And so it sort of kind of went to script. with what they were expecting. They thought that, okay, the defense might have some struggles in this game, but the offense should be powerful enough to take care of business and create a lead that, by the end of the game, the outcome's not in doubt. And that's exactly what happened.
And that's why Arizona was able to rush for 234 yards on a 7.8 average with 2 touchdowns. Where are we, by the way? I know it's early in the week, but what are your thoughts on some of those injuries going into obviously the big matchup Monday against the Ravens?
We saw Javon Hargrave doing a lot of work on a side field. He was out with a hamstring injury, to the point where they had the big giant hula hoop, and the defensive linemen run around that, and so he was doing all of that. So that told me that, okay, this guy is pretty close to coming back. So I would expect him back for the Ravens game. Eric Armstead, we didn't see him at all. So he's more of a question mark, I think. 50-50 shot as to whether he's back for this game. But that's, having Hargrave back is a big one. And then we're not sure about Diamador Lenore, who had a rib injury. Wasn't very prominent in the game, but he left the game, didn't come back. So his update today, I think, will be a big one because, in that defensive backfield, it's like a game of dominoes. You move one piece, and then there are, 2 or 3 other repercussions of that. So if the 49ers didn't play with Diamador Lenore, that would mean that, Isaiah Oliver is playing the nickel spot, and B, Ambry Thomas is a full-time starter on the outside. So Diamador Lenore, a big linchpin to that secondary, which has been playing really well coming out of the bye.
Do you expect, as we talked to Matt Barrows, do you expect Nick Bosa to show up on the injury report at all? He got rolled up on in just kind of a fluke situation. One of his teammates pushing another guy, rolled up on the back of his leg. You saw him limping around a little bit, but do you expect to see him show up at all in the designation?
Yeah, if he does, I don't think it's going to be serious. He sort of dismissed it yesterday as nothing, and he may have left the game for a play or two, but he was back in after that. So that's usually a good sign that all is well.
Christian McCaffrey with MVP-like numbers, touchdown on the ground, 2 through the air, combined 187 yards total. But he's got another MVP candidate on his team, Brock Purdy. Let me ask you this first off, assuming everybody keeps playing the way they're playing, McCaffrey at his level, Purdy at his level, you got Dak, Jalen Hurts, a couple others in there. Can Christian McCaffrey realistically even win the MVP this year?
I think so. I mean, it's a down year for quarterbacks overall. You don't have Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes, dazzling this season. Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy are the top 2, and I think that Purdy should get it. But I'm just trying to get in the minds of voters. He doesn't have a lot of track record with those voters. Dak Prescott has been up and down. So you would think that if in any year you're going to go away from a quarterback as the MVP, this one might be it. And, if McCaffrey has a couple more games like this to close out the season, and by the way, he was fantastic against the Cardinals in week 4. I think he had 4 touchdowns in that game, 3 or 4, and then did the same here. I mean, that catches your attention because Brandon Ayuk was mostly quiet. George Kittle was mostly quiet. Deebo Samuel had 2 touchdowns, but he didn't have a huge Deebo Samuel-like game in terms of yards. Yesterday was all about Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey.
And when you look at that, let's, again, assuming, and it's a big assumption, that they are able to beat the Ravens on Christmas Day and then win out, which I don't think would be a huge assumption. They're 14-3. They're the number 1 seed in the NFC. And as it stands right now, Brock Purdy number 1 completion percentage, number 2 in yards, number 1 in touchdowns, just 7 interceptions. Dak Prescott threw one yesterday. He had a terrible game, so they're tied up now. Leads the league in QBR, leads the league in rating, and again would be the guy at the helm of the number 1 team in the NFL seed-wise. But to your point, you think even perhaps then the lack of familiarity. I mean, does he have to have a housewarming party? Does he need to go to a couple weddings? What does Purdy need to do here?
Well, he sent out, I don't know if you remember this from last year, but he and his roommate, Nick Sikel, who's still his roommate, by the way, gave everybody holiday cards inside the locker room. Maybe, if you multiply that by, I don't know, 1 million or so and send them to everyone, that'll help kind of get the Purdy name and face out there. I do think that Christmas night against a 3-loss Ravens team with Lamar Jackson as the counterpoint or counterpart, that's going to go a long way. This is the last primetime game that they're going to play, and if people need convincing, Brock Purdy could do a lot of it on Christmas night.
Matt Barrows joining us. So we move ahead to that game. Baltimore won yesterday. We were talking about it earlier, Christopher Ladd and I don't have the numbers in front of me. I don't expect you to, but Matt, if this isn't the latest, obviously not counting the Super Bowl, but if this isn't the latest in the season, the number 1 seed in the NFC and the number 1 seed in the AFC are going to meet, it's gotta be close. I mean, you have a legit, no hyperbole, possible Super Bowl preview, and it's happening in the third to last game of the year. That's pretty amazing in itself.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on this one. I think it's going to be a fun one to watch. I think the 49ers are already favored by 5. That's a big deal. That's a big number when the other team is the top seed in the AFC right now. So it'll be fun to watch. I think the Ravens have shown some vulnerability recently. They've had some injuries, but that's a team that knows how to win. And I remember the 49ers going to Baltimore late in the 2019 season. The 49ers just had a real kind of murderer's row of opponents to end that year. And they played the Ravens tight, but Lamar Jackson was the difference. He scored with his feet, he scored with his arm, and that's the peak. And the 49ers, due to Lamar Jackson, what they've been able to do to Jalen Hurts and to Kyler Murray in recent weeks.
And that's kind of what I was going to ask you there too. I know they're different players. I fully acknowledge that. And I also know that, as we talked about earlier, the Niners have had some injury issues. But getting Jalen Hurts and then Kyler Murray 2 out of the last 3 weeks, in your opinion, does that get them in a little bit more Lamar Jackson shape as opposed to if they had played the Chargers and name the other team that does not, Matthew Stafford? Is that good for them, or does that even matter?
Why are you attacking Easton Stick like that? Wow.
Sorry, my bad.
Man, geez.
You're right. My bad. Great
Easton
game.
Stick is catching strays by Dave. But to answer your question, yeah, I think you're right. Absolutely. That, this has been a top focus for them, not allowing the quarterback to gouge them with his legs. And it was different between Hurts and Murray. Hurts, it's all about the A and the B gap, just kind of squeezing through the middle of a defensive line. Murray, it's more kind of scattershoot. He's all over the place, especially on the outside. I would think that Lamar Jackson is, he's almost a perfect composite of the two because he does have the speed. He's really elusive, but much more so than Jalen Hurts. He's got his eyes downfield all the time too. So you can't just be worried about him running, or else he'll beat you with his arm. He's just been doing this for a lot longer. It'll be interesting to see what the 49ers approach is. They obviously have an extra day to prepare for it, an extra day to kind of heal up and rest up which I think is a big deal for them. But, after that, it's a short week to Washington, which will be another challenge to end the season.
Well, let's end this interview kind of how we started it. We were talking about Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, McCaffrey and Purdy. Is there to you a realistic opportunity if the Ravens come into Levi's Stadium and win? And Lamar Jackson, he'd have to be a huge part of that, by the way, for that to happen anyways. He outplays Purdy. Could he be a late spoiler and come grab his second MVP trophy?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, what I was trying to describe earlier was a situation where it's sort of up for grabs. And, if you're an undecided voter and you see a primetime game, a big primetime game with all sorts of consequences, and one guy really shines, that's going to sway your vote. And Lamar Jackson's got, some good arguments to make. I mean, he's lost some weapons this season, and he's kept that team afloat. So now it depends what your criteria is. If you're a stats guy, it's really hard not to pick Purdy because, as you noted earlier on, he's leading the league in all sorts of important categories. But there may be other criteria you use.
Well, that's Matt Barrows, who is the all-time leader in appearances with me on this station by a long shot. You can read him each and every week at The Athletic. It's Christmas time, holidays. They have a ton of great deals. Guys like me, we pay full retail pop. That's fine. Happy to. It's a steal at twice the price, but you can get in there for as low as $1 a month right now. Just go to theathletic.com or download the app and get yourself some fine writing and commentary from folks like Matt Barrows. I appreciate you, and I really hope, well, Matt, we'll have to talk about this because that's right. Next week is Christmas. I think we'll be moving around our times. We're off Monday, Tuesday, but whatever time we talk next week, I hope we're talking after a big Niner win.
Yeah, I'm around all week. Call me Wednesday. Dave, you can call me anytime. You're such a long-time subscriber. We got to get you a pen or a T-shirt or something for your loyalty.
Hey, because I've been promising me a hat, a hoodie, a something. I even say, look, we're on YouTube with tens of viewers. It's free advertising, blah, blah, blah. I mean, my goodness, I've had my subscription from the jump. But as I said, it's very worth it. Happy to help in some minuscule way support the journalism we need. So have a great weekend. Matt, seriously, happy holidays to you and your loved ones, and hopefully we all get a nice win for Christmas. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, Dave, and happy holidays to you as well.
Okay, take care. That is Matt Barrows. We'll take a break. When we return, Kings Wizards tonight, we're giving away not one but 2 lift tickets to Sierra at Tahoe, and I think we might be able to recap a pick 6 or a 3 in the key or something or other. Plus, we got a 3 in the key to do. Don't forget celebrity birthdays and crosstalk. Styles and Watkins, maybe, possibly, maybe. All right, we'll do all that next.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
Dell's holiday event is one of their biggest sales of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Let me give you just some names. Daniel Johnson, Devin Williams, Lasan Chroma, Lin Wan Kai, Gao Jinwei, Chang Yuan. Yeah. Those are all now teammates of DeMarcus Cousins as he is signed with the Taiwan Beer Leopards. That's right. DeMarcus is signed with the Taiwan Beer Leopards. According to sources, it is a 10-day, 4-game contract. He will join the Taiwan Beer Leopards in mid-January. They play their home games at the National Taiwan Sport University Arena, the T1 League. I don't have the numbers as to what he's getting paid for 10 days and 4 games. But I can assure you it's more than we're getting paid all year long. I got to find out what big hefty bag of cash did they throw at DeMarcus Cousins to get him to roll to Taiwan and play for the Beer Leopards. The Beer Leopards, and they have a logo, and nowhere on there is any beer, but there is a very mean-looking leopard. All right, what do you want to do here? Are we doing pick 6?
We can.
Okay, let's do. We'll recap pick 6. Chris efforted during the break, since Jason holds all the cards. Pick 6. From Sunday's Niners Cardinals game. Chris, how did we do on number 1?
All right. So the first San Francisco 49er to score. Dave, you said Moody.
I did.
Jason said Kittle. I said CMC. Deebo Samuel. He got the first touchdown for the game.
None of us got that one.
Next was the leading 49er in yards in either rushing or receiving. Dave, you said Ayuk with 91 yards. Jason said McCaffrey with 122 rushing yards. I said Deebo with 115 receiving. It was 115 yards receiving, but it was to CMC, 115 yards rushing.
Yeah. How about that? Jason gets a big point there.
All right. Next was Purdy touchdowns to interceptions. Dave, you said 3-0. Jason also said 3-0. I said 2-0. It's 4-0. So I guess we'll give that to you and Jason.
It's pretty cool when you can predict 3-0 and he outdoes it by 1. That's just Brock Purdy.
Next up, team sacks. Dave, you said 4. Jason said 2. I said 3. Team sacks 3.
Circle gets the square. 3 sacks. Kinlaw, Chase Young, and Fred Warner split 1, and Nick Bosa.
All right, next one's the score of the game. We all know it's 45-29. Dave, you said 34-24 Niners. Jason said 31-10 Niners. I said 34-10 Niners. I guess we'll give that to you.
I feel like I actually, yeah.
You're the closest.
Yeah, I was the closest.
Last random stat, you said that Juszczyk would score. Fortunately, he did not.
I always do.
Jason said that the Niners would trail after the first quarter. Niners were up 14-7.
Yeah, he was. They were down 7-0. Not enough.
And then finally, I said the 49ers will have a play over 50 yards. Now, the longest reception was 41 yards for CMC. But I'm going to take it because Javarius Ward had a pick 6 for 66 yards.
Hey, I mean, you know what? Was it a play? I don't know, but it was a touchdown. I'll give it to you.
I'll take it.
I think that's a 3-way tie. It's the first time we've ever had a 3-way tie. How about that? Do we also have, did you happen to get 3 in the key? It's okay if you didn't. Oh, my goodness. That excellence better continue. With Jay Johnson on Wednesday, Nate Littlefield on Friday. I have a feeling one of them will. I won't say who. 3 in the key from Saturday.
All right, first one was assist for the Kings. Dave, you said 31.
Yeah.
Jason said 29. I said 28. Kings had 36.
Hey! I'll take the point.
Next up, Barnes and Herter points. Dave, you said 18 and 21. Jason said 9 and 14. I said 7 and 14. I don't even know who to give this one. It was Barnes had 16 and Herder had 11.
So, well, let's see here. All right, so they combined for 27. What did you say?
I said 7 and 14, 21.
Okay, so that's 21. What did I say?
You said 18 and 21.
18 and 21, so that's 39. Okay,
and Jason said 9 and 14.
Yeah, okay, we all suck.
All right, random stat. Dave, you said that Mike Brown would win a challenge. I don't think they even had a challenge.
Yeah, I don't think they had a challenge, actually.
Jason said Sasha, he would have 3 3-pointers. Sasha only had 1. And mine was that Keegan Herder was going to have 12 3-pointers in the game, which is crazy.
Wow, Keegan Herder. So they combined?
Actually, I had Sabonis would have a first half double-double. He was 14 and 7, but at the end of that first half, he was getting screwed out of some rebounds.
He really, really was. 20 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals for Domantas Sabonis, who shot 90% from the field, 50% from the line. All right.
Wait, Sabonis played that night?
Yeah, actually other people played. It's amazing. We'll see if they can all repeat that tonight. We don't have an update, by the way, on De'Aaron Fox's shoulder. We're all hoping the update is regardless he will not play tonight. So we'll leave that alone. When we come back, what to watch tonight? We'll also do 3 in the key for tonight as well, and recap a couple of things from today's action. Don't go away. Final hour of the program, and it happens next.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
I've been driving commercial vehicles for 20 years. Every big road across this country, anywhere the work takes me, that's where I'm driving. But that's not where I'm going. I'm going to see my little girl graduate high school and my boy get married and to teach my grandkids a thing or two. And I realize everyone out there is going somewhere. So it just makes sense to help each other get there safely. Let's all get where we're going. Learn more at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
Paid for by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration.
This is Jeff Scott. Did you know there's a way to outsmart COVID if you get it? Now, there are medicines that can treat COVID whether or not you've been vaccinated, which is great news, especially if you're over 50. If taken in the first 5 days of having symptoms, COVID medicines can help stop the illness from getting serious. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to learn more about COVID medicines. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Got a drain that's clogged up? Or maybe a toilet? Or a faucet that just won't quit leaking? Kenny and Jerry here from Bell Brothers, and we want you to know that it does make a difference which plumber you call.
At Bell Brothers, we respect your time by showing up when we say we'll be there. Our technicians are all background checked and drug tested, and will greet you with a smile.
They're trained to do the job right the first time, and they carry over 1,000 parts on their trucks, so they won't have to order something and then come back later.
They leave the work area cleaner than they found it, and your final bill will be the same as they quoted. That's why they call us the No Surprise Guys.
So if you need a plumber, it does make a difference who you call. Call Bell Brothers. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Morning. I'm on the phone line.
You are.
Oh, what's good? Hey, I just thought about this on yesterday, and then I saved it down on notes to ask you guys today. Like, I wish like referees would be like intentional grounding, number 12 on Brady, not number 12, but they call him by his name rather than the number. You guys think that would ever happen?
I have to ask you, what is your motivation behind that wish?
Because like everyone can be a number, you know what I mean? Sure. But when you address them by their last name, it would just give, I guess, a sense of importance to them, make them feel a little bit more special. Like on Brady, say the name Brady rather than 12. I mean, everyone knows who 12 is, but I guess when you utter, someone's, whether it be maiden or whatever, but, just makes them feel a little good. Whether it's still a penalty on them, but it's like everyone likes to hear their name get called out on the big speaker, especially when you made it to that level. You're in front of hundreds of thousands of fans, millions watching, on the broadcast. So I just felt like if referees could just say it, man, just say it to it, Tiger Vailoa.
I think the only issue I have in your logic, do we really think players want their names called out when they've basically broken the rules?
Oh yeah, that too, right? Like an ejection, well then too, like an NBA, right? In NBA, they'll be like Draymond Green has been indefinitely ejected. Like they'll say that, but I think in football, since there's so many people, I think they go by numerals.
One of these days, I'm gonna get some vacation time, and I want to rent a space in your brain for about 3 days and just hang out in there. I want to take a walk around. I want to look at the sights and sounds, and
I will say I have never thought of that.
I've never thought of that. I love the way Tim thinks. I've never thought of that. Personal foul, Tom Brady, 15-yard penalty.
And I'm just thinking of Tom Brady on the side. That's me.
Hey, Mom, I made it. Oh, there's a cough. Kings Wizards tonight. Yeah, Pistons and Spurs get all the attention. How about the Spurs breaking their streak, by the way, beating the Lakers? That's great. The Wizards suck, though. Yeah. They're terrible. They're horrible. No excuse to not win tonight. We don't have an update as of yet on De'Aaron Fox. I did ask my person, though, about De'Aaron. They don't have an update yet. I expect him. I mean, I never know with him. I hope he's out tonight just because I out of love. You got the Celtics and Son's coming out. We're going to need him. Unless he's like 100 or, you're never 100%. Unless he's like 90+%. Leave him alone. Let him watch. By the way, every single game he's been hurt, every single game he's sat out with this recent injury, Keegan Murray's averaged 47 points. Sam Amick, who we'll talk to on Thursday, wrote a nice trade deadline article. I won't read the whole thing to you. Subscribe to The Athletic to read the whole thing, but I'll give you some of the nuts and bolts here. He starts out saying, it's no secret the Kings have an appetite and the assets to improve their roster. We've talked about that quite a bit. As Monty McNair explained back in July, their plan is kind of two-pronged to develop the current group in the kind of way that looks as if it's on the path to becoming a title contender. Number two, if progress wasn't coming quickly enough, analyze any opportunities to add a high-caliber player. Well, they're 15-9. They're fifth place in the West. And their net ratings right around the middle. So it mentions Pascal Siakam or OG Anunoby. The problem being that both are effectively going to be free agents next year. Siakam's on an expiring deal. Anunoby's going to opt out of his $20 million player option for sure, which means that would make things a little bit tough considering what you'd probably have to give up. Hint, Harrison Barnes, Davion Mitchell, and a pick isn't going to do it. You know what I'm saying? More Zach LaVine talk, though. Mainly, he's got a combined $178 million left on his deal, including a $49 million player option in 26-27. The Kings would be attracted to the additional shooting. It's just a matter of, do they think their defense, which is currently 15th, which up from 23rd last year, is enough to allow them to bring in more shooting without really defense. The backcourt of Fox and LaVine would obviously be pretty crazy. And reportedly LaVine would be very amenable to a trade here. Again, that would not be the move I would make. Now, I certainly was wrong when Vlade Divac signed him to that 4-year, $80 million offer sheet. I didn't like that either, and boy, was I wrong. That would have been a good addition. Zach LaVine's a wonderful player. He's a wonderful player. It's just, again, you're going to take on that kind of money that's going to hamstring you. You combine that with re-signing Malik Monk, which I can tell you as of right now, by the way, talking to folks around, Malik Monk, no surprise, is incredibly happy in Sacramento. Feels like he's found a home in Sacramento. Plays golf pretty much every day here, and very much wants to re-sign with this team. So if Malik Monk isn't here next year, it will almost certainly be because the team has decided to move on. I don't think that's the case. I think Monk's going to be I think they're absolutely going to make paying Monk a priority. But you got to think, okay, so what are you looking at for Malik Monk, who's making, what, $9-10 million this year, I want to say? So you got to think about it this way, too. It's not just, hey, let's get this player. It's, okay, what are you giving up? Is that a net gain? And then where you are salary-wise. Yeah, Malik Monk making $9.9 million this year. You got to think that's at least going to probably double next year. I can't imagine they're going to get him for anything less than like 4 years, 80. And my guess is it's probably going to be more like four and 100, somewhere in that range, 490 maybe. Okay, so you now just doubled that up. You know, Alex Len's $3 million will come off the books. JaVale McGee's $3 million will come off the books, assuming they don't re-sign either of those guys. You got another $3 million impossible if Kessler Edwards, Juan Toscano Anderson, they're both on 1-year deals. They don't return. Everyone else is locked up for next year. Doesn't mean you can't trade them. But now imagine bringing in a Zach LaVine and re-signing Malik Monk. Depending on what you give up for Zach, which that may be a situation where you could do a Barnes, I don't know, a Barnes Herter Davion deal, just because I don't think salaries would work, Barnes and Mitchell alone. And you probably have to put a pick or two in there. So just consider that's what you'd be giving up. And I know there's a lot of Kings fans right now that are going, okay, wait a minute, hold on a second, Dave. Barnes, Herter, and Mitchell, or just Barnes and Herter and picks that aren't even that valuable for Zach LaVine? Fox and LaVine in your backcourt? Where do I sign? Well, I would say this, guys. Again, are you adding the right ingredients to the right meal? Zach's 28 years old. He's still in his prime. This is a guy that, is very capable of averaging 23, 24, 25 points a game. He's a scorer. Doesn't do a ton else. 5 boards, 3.5 assists, whatever. Not really, he's not a shot blocker. He's not a big steals guy. He's giving you scoring and shooting, and that's great. But here's the questions I would have. Number one, Zach seems to be a guy that needs the ball in his hands. So how's that going to work with the offense? Let's say that works. Well, now let me ask you this. You bring in Zach LaVine, and now your starting lineup is, I don't know. Let's say if it was a Herter Barnes thing, let's say, so you go Fox, LaVine, either Keegan at the 3 or Keegan at the 4, maybe Trey Lyles and Sabonis as currently designed. I'm just spitballing here. Is that a championship team? Or even better, is that a close enough to a championship team that some minor maneuverations would make them a championship team? I don't think it is. I don't think it is, because I don't think you're now Keegan Murray is basically, he's your best defender. Lyles will give you some good, solid defending. I don't have an issue with that. Fox will give you some good, solid defending. And I'm not saying the other guys are sieves. I'm just saying I don't think that's a championship team. Here's the problem. If it's not a championship team, well, you're kind of stuck for this run now, unless you're trading one of the big guys. Because you bring in Zach LaVine. Okay. You bring in that salary, most importantly, of Zach LaVine's. You're fairly stuck at this point. You're pretty much stuck at this point. Unless you're going to trade Fox, Sabonis, or LaVine. So I don't think LaVine's the guy. I think they're a better offensive team probably with LaVine, and that's assuming he can handle the whole I don't have the ball in my hands thing. We'll take a break. When we come back, crosstalk, celebrity birthdays. But right now at 1-800-920-1140, we'll take the fourth caller, get a pair of lift tickets, Sierra at Tahoe. Fourth caller right now. For more information, sacktownsports.com. We're back with all that. We wrap up the show next.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
It's Credit Christmas at Prestigio Jewelers. Get the gifts you want this year. Prestigio guarantees your credit up to $10,000. It's easy. Have a valid ID, proof of income, and be 18 or older. Prestigio has competitive pricing on all jewelry such as gold chains, wedding sets, diamond earrings, and designer brands like Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Rebuild your credit, even with a repo or a bankruptcy, at Prestigio Jewelers. This Christmas, come for the credit and be amazed by the selection at Prestigio Jewelers. Online at prestigiojewelers.com.
This holiday season, Good Guys Heating and Cooling is turning up the warmth and spreading joy with our Toys for Tune-Ups promotion. Schedule your tune-up or troubleshooting appointment, and with a donation of a new unwrapped toy at the time of your service, we'll waive the fee. It's our way of giving back and making a difference in the lives of local children who might not have the Christmas that every child deserves. All toys will benefit Children's Hope, a wonderful local foster charity right here in Sacramento. Call Good Guys Heating and Cooling at 530-GOOD-AIR to schedule your appointment, or book online at goodguysheatingcooling.com. Happy holidays from the Good Guys family. License number 1057-618.
This holiday season, visit Boot Barn for top quality gifts that pay tribute to the lasting heritage of the West. From handcrafted cowboy boots and American-made felt hats to hand-stitched leather jackets, our in-store experts will help guide you as you shop, assisting with boot fitting and providing complimentary hat shaping. This holiday, share a piece of the American spirit. Boot Barn. Unwrap the West.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill is turning me into a pro. Napoleon Grills has features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just go to Napoleon.com for your nearby Napoleon Grills dealer. Napoleon Grills. Now is the time for the best selection of grills and fine accessories for the holidays.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no accounts to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
It's the season of performance event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than freshly baked and home-delivered crumble cookies.
We're going right into it? Okay. I didn't know if I had to wait for the whole.
You're good.
Okay, I'm good. Welcome in, Alan Stiles, Chris Watkins. Guys, we're running behind, so wanted to see if you participate with us. We do a little segment called 3 in the Key before every Kings game, where Chris will throw out 3 questions, and you give your predictions, and then we'll see how well we did the next day.
Are you being serious?
No. Because are we recapping?
No, we already did that.
Oh, we did? Oh, we're doing the one for tonight, though,
yes.
Right? But it's just you and me?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I thought you asked Jason for the questions.
No.
You asked him what his answers were.
Yes, I did. I do have his answers.
You have the questions.
Oh, yeah, that's a great point. I do. All right. Hey, guys, never mind.
What's going on?
Nothing, dude. Just hang out.
Gotcha.
3 in the Key, brought to you by, I don't know. All right, Christopher Lod, question 1. How many points will Keegan Murray have?
He is going to have 17.
He will have 17. I'm going to say he will have, give me 24 for Keegan Murray. I don't think he's going to fall off as much as you do. Highest scoring Wizard, and how many?
Oh, man. Kyle Kuzma, 22.
And that's Jason said 27. I will say Kyle Kuzma puts up a 31 piece. Is there a 31 piece? And finally, give us a weird stat.
I am going to say that Keegan will have his first shot be a made 3.
That's a weird stat. Okay. First shot, made 3. And I will go with a Sabonis triple
Double. By the way, Jason's weird stat was the Wiz will go 0 for 2 twice at the line, even though you only get one set of crumble cookies.
Double cookies.
Yeah. How are you, gentlemen? Good morning.
Pretty good.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories,
what happens when Jason's
hard-hitting
on here.
analysis.
All heck breaks loose.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross.
Yeah?
Can we clap?
Yeah, I think we can clap.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello.
Are we like we're hiding?
We'll get better tomorrow.
Like you're hiding us in the studio. Can we talk now?
Today is National Roast Suckling Pig Day.
Suckling pig before?
I had a roast pig. What makes it suckling?
It's got the apple in its mouth, right?
That's it. It's not a type of pig. I thought there was a type. I thought it was like a smaller pig made into suckling.
Huh.
I honestly, I don't want to make this sound terrible, but I'm sure I'm wrong here. I always thought like a suckling pig was like a pig that was still suckling on its mama. So it was like the veal of pigs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they're all like tiny, right? I don't know. I had a full-on pig like 4 years ago.
You are very correct.
So that's Farm Dave right here.
Oh, I feel bad about myself.
Yeah, you're eating pig veal, basically. You know what? Overrated. Like,
I agree.
It's all like the whole thing and all that. This spit and you rotate it. Oh, it's a pig. But then it just, I don't know, man. It just tasted weird to me. I don't like to eat anything that's looking at me.
It's a pretty traumatizing experience.
It made me think about being a vegetarian. I'm not going to lie. Like,
for how long?
Like 20 minutes, but
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, all the vegetarian people, if they really want to make inroads, get a law passed. Like, I wonder if this would work. Where, like, okay, so you go and you buy like a pack of hamburger, but then on the label is like a picture of the cow or whatever that it came from. Like, this was Bessie. You're eating Bessie. I'm eating Franklin the chicken. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that would get to me a little
SNL
bit.
had something like that where they made sure all of their animals were 100% like jerks.
Where that so it's okay to eat them.
They're bad animals, so you can feel
Absolutely.
good about yourself about eating them.
Well, 100%. And like, there's other countries and cultures that eat different things, right? Like, I think India is like no on the cow, like no, like on the cow.
Right.
And I've always wondered. I've never thought because like there'll be some like the one we freak out about is like another culture eats a dog, right? Like, oh my god, are you kidding me, right? But what I've always wondered is cow the dog of America to India?
I don't. Is
Good question.
it cow? Because I know a lot of places don't eat pork.
Yeah, that is true. So maybe it's pig.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm wondering is like, is there a country out there that looks at us eating, whether it's pig or cow or steer or whatever it is, and thinks of that the way we think of other countries that eat dog?
I think pig.
Pig,
roll around in the mud.
Yeah,
They're
it's definitely
pretty
pig.
nasty.
And I would assume that America, in terms of having dogs as pets, it's just way past any other country.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I can see like, oh, that's disgusting. That rolls around in dirt and all that. That's fine. But like, for us, it's like, oh my god. Like while I'm petting my dog, and I'm like, I can't. No, you can't. It's a dog.
Man's best friend or
an
American?
I think it's a person's best friend now. 2020.
I got cats.
You have cats? Cats. I don't. I'm not a cat. Yeah,
that's not.
They're just a cat.
They're pretty great. They're pretty great.
They
They're
are
pretty
pretty
funny.
just-
It's just pretty funny.
They're for an intelligent.
I think you're on your own, Dave.
Oh, you're a cat guy. I'm surrounded by cat guys, right?
Well, I don't have a cat.
But you would have a cat.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd have a cat over a dog.
No.
They
No?
challenge you intellectually.
They do.
They're not as needy.
They don't do anything unless you play with them. They don't.
You
They
have to
go
have
on
the right
walks.
cats.
They don't.
That's
Come,
right.
when they come if you call them sometimes, and then when they're done with you, it's like here's the butthole, and then they walk away. That's what they do. It's-
Much better than dogs, right? Or
Dogs are like my
growing
dog,
up on the
dogs have no
floor.
dogs have no currency whatsoever except their love and affection. I get home, you know where my dog is right now? He's on the front step, a little carpet step right by our front door, just waiting.
Doesn't it upset you sometimes how like dumb the dog is though?
Yeah,
My
dogs
dog
don't
does
let
some dumb stuff, and I'm just like, you're just so dumb.
Yeah,
You would not last a day with him.
No, I look at the dog sometimes and I go, you were like a wolf 200 years ago.
Right. And you've lost all of that.
There's no chance.
You know, a couple of people that actually is a thing. Were you telling me about people getting wolves as pets?
Oh,
So
yeah.
51% wolf.
There's like a certain percentage of wolf that you're allowed to have in your dog, or else it's then too much.
Like,
in
what are
wolf.
we doing?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
You can actually, Anjali's really big into like something similar. She
Yeah, like
has like
wolf
a wolf
rescue or
sanctuary,
something,
which
yeah.
I think is kind of a similar thing. Where like,
I like how, but did anybody else catch how you're just like, oh, Anjali. Like, you guys are boys, hang out. I mean, you didn't even
She's
throw in a
amazing.
last name there. You're just like, well, Anjali.
Yeah.
By the way, I like your hoodie, but out of the corner of my, am I weird for saying out of the corner of my eye, I think it's a raincoat?
it is a raincoat.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a,
I'm like, it looks like a raincoat to me.
Mean. Okay, I
No, it
couldn't
is.
tell
It's
because of the
raining.
material.
Yeah, it's
Well, then that's,
very much raining.
It
That
is.
lightning and thunder last night was.
Everyone's
Guys,
talking
can we
about
talk
that.
about
I didn't
the
even hear
weather?
it.
Oh my
I
goodness.
slept through it.
Oh, it was terrifying.
What around what time?
I have no
It
idea.
was like 1 a.m. and
Oh,
one
yeah.
or two. Yeah. Just
I was prepping.
woke me up.
What part of the Sacramento area do you live in?
Land Park adjacent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've heard Land Park, Northern
East
Elk
Sac.
Grove, East. Yeah, I didn't make it. That's not. That was that city thunder. We didn't get any suburb thunder. Rockland,
Up in the
Roseville.
hills.
No.
I'm gonna ask you where I live.
Huh? Well, you didn't hear the thunder. That's why I didn't ask. But where do you live?
In the NATO.
Oh, the Thomas. Never heard that. Was that a thing?
He's trying to make it happen.
He's
No,
trying to make
you know
it
what I
happen.
heard that?
He's trying to make it
In the NATO.
In the NATO.
NATO.
Somebody told me.
Hey, it's a NATO thing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get it.
Yeah, if you know, you know. I'm gonna get you a shirt. Say you know.
That's right.
Celebrity Birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than Crumble Cookies. That one, not NATO.
All right. Happy birthday to Billie Eilish.
William.
William Eilish. You know one of her middle names is like Pirate. True story. It is. Look it up. She's one of two. I think she's 22.
No, I think she's 20.
Yeah,
She's
Either 20 or 21.
I think
23.
I think it's 21.
23 or
22.
24.
No way.
I know we
Yes.
got a correct answer.
She's 20.
We do have a correct answer. Billie Irish Pirate Baird O'Connell
Yeah.
is 22 years
Thank
old.
you.
Way
Yeah.
to go, Dave.
I will say this. I was 100% the first person in this entire building to start pushing the whole Billie Eilish.
Was it you like 15?
Are we sure about that?
She's like 19.
Oh.
What does that matter?
Wait, what are you
Hold
trying
on,
to tell?
wait.
What are
I'm
you trying to tell us? You're
There's
a
no way.
talent.
I kind of am.
talent.
What song was it?
It was something about a crown.
Yeah, no, you're wrong.
It was before her
I
album
was
came
way
out.
before
It was
that.
before
I was
her.
before that.
It was It was Ocean Eyes.
But we
I was
all
like,
we
come on.
all do it though, because I remember being a kid and watching Destiny's Child and just seeing Beyonce, thinking this girl's got something. And then when she blew up, I'm like, I knew it. I knew it.
Called it.
Happy birthday to one Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, he's the RKO guy.
No, he's a Stone Cold Stunner guy.
He's the one that comes up from the coffin.
No, he's the one that comes behind the glass.
Okay.
Dropping dimes.
Steve Austin's like 61.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, it's a NATO thing.
63.
Oh man. I'll just go low. I'll say 58.
Chris Watkins, a winner. 59 for Stone Cold Steve
Wow.
Austin.
Wow. How about that for a Stone Cold
Yeah.
Steve?
And we've got time for one more. Brad Pitt.
Oh,
Brad Pitt's birthday today.
Moneyball.
Eternal.
Brad Pitt, big one for him today, 58.
Ooh, the big 5'8".
5'8".
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's close, but it's 56.
Oh.
Oof. He was 56 last year.
57.
Oh.
So 57, 56, 58.
Yeah.
Dave is our winner. Brad Pitt, big 6-0.
Happy birthday.
For him. Wow.
Yikes.
Hey, what's coming up on the show today in 5 seconds?
We're going to talk about Keegan Murray.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why, you do something?
No.
Okay.
We're going to talk about Threegan Flirt.
Wow.
Oh, there we go.
Keegan Murray, you mean 0 for 2 in the late fourth quarter from 3, Keegan Murray? Yeah, we'll talk about him, how great he is.
Overrated.
Watkins coming up next.
On the move. Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The